Greetings, entities and guardians, my name is HyperHimes. March 6, 2021 was the day that changed my life. This was the day that I released a video called The Cookie Run Iceberg Explained, where I talked about a lot of interesting facts about the Cookie Run franchise with an iceberg image that was created by the user known as ProblematicPeriPlum. Now, I'll admit, my take on the iceberg wasn't perfect. Far from it. I mean, from not being able to find information, to calling the Thai comics Korean, and nope, don't even get me started on that one, I want that to be left buried. However, this beast of an iceberg recently released to the public. How big is it, you may ask? Well, let's just say that there's over 250 topics to talk about here. I think we're gonna be here for a while. I kept saying a lot of times to all the entities and guardians who watch the videos that I want to remake the iceberg video, but I think talking about this new and improved iceberg will make up for any mistake that I've made in the past iceberg video. Honestly, I don't know what else there is to say, other than to just start with it. I don't want to waste up any more time talking because there's a lot to unpack here, but the last thing I can say is that ProblematicPeriPlum is the same creator of this iceberg as they were from the last one, so I highly recommend that you show them all the love and support in the world. Without them, this video wouldn't even be possible at all. So, now with all that out of the way, it's time for the feature presentation you all been waiting for. DevSisters. DevSisters Corporation is a company in South Korea that focuses on mobile app games. This company was founded in 2007 as Mobiler Corp. This company holds the rights and develops the games in the Cookie Run series since the launch of OvenBreak in 2009. OvenBreak 2009. OvenBreak 2009 is the first original Cookie Run game that was released in June of 2009. This game is sometimes referred to as OvenBreak Lite and or OvenBreak Infinity. The game was very simple, only having the ability to jump once, slide, and hook, with only the ability to play as Gingerbread. Dozer. Dozer, who's referred to as KK in the game's files, was a cookie that appeared in the original OvenBreak in November 2011. Dozer is the first cookie you play as in the 2011 updated version of the original OvenBreak in the tutorial stage, and is later incapacitated at the end of his own stage, the tutorial, and only has very few minor appearances afterwards, such as in the collection image for Christmas. Dozer is also believed to be Gingerbread's brother, as after Dozer finds Whirly Burly, aka the red lollipop that made him faint, Gingerbread in the next mode, Training's loading screen, says, "Rest well, my brother." While Dozer hasn't appeared outside of his debut game, Dozer has gained a sizable fan base due to his mysterious nature and status as Gingerbread's brother, rivaling that in size of other cookies that are playable in modern games such as grapefruit, ice candy, ginseng, or mustard. OvenBreak 2011. This is the same as OvenBreak 2009 in terms of gameplay, but this is when the game went over a major overhaul with new graphics, more modes, and an introduction to Dozer. Due to the game temporarily changing its name after certain updates, games simply known as OvenBreak or OvenBreak Infinity are always the 2009 version of the game, and versions known as OvenBreak with the subtitle of Gingerbread Run, OvenBreak Inner Space, and OvenBreak Skittles are always the 2011 version of the game. A light version of OvenBreak also exists for both the 2009 and 2011 versions of the game. Cookie Run for Cacao. Cookie Run for Cacao is the Korean release of Line Cookie Run, which was released on April 2nd, 2013. This game was based off of Kakao Talk, which was a South Korean social media platform. This is why it gets the name Cookie Run for Cacao. The game ceased updates in November 2016, but the game still has its servers still active and still routinely provides large amounts of free crystals for holidays, such as the game's anniversary in April, Chuseok in September, and Christmas in December. If you've never played any of the old Cookie Run games or want to play as cookies who are absent in modern versions such as Coffee, Cloud, and Cream, it's still available to try. Line Cookie Run. Line Cookie Run is similar to Cookie Run for Cacao, but brought to many international audiences on January 23rd, 2014. Similar to Cookie Run for Cacao, the reason it's called Line Cookie Run is because of the social media platform it's running on. This one would be Line. The game featured English, Japanese, Thai, and traditional Chinese translations of the game, as well as a Spanish one that would unfortunately be discontinued later on. The game shut down in June 2018, likely due to the end of Line's license with Cookie Run. CH17/Banana Peel Cookie. This is Banana Peel Cookie. Their name in Korean does translate to banana flavored cookie, but this is also the same exact name as the official banana cookie who was released in 2016, so it is common to nickname this cookie as Banana Peel Cookie for the sake of differentiation. If one decides to look into the game's files and hack Banana Peel Cookie to be playable, multiple things can be revealed. For instance, Banana Peel Cookie is classified as female, has a kami pet known as Banana Potion, and that their story is a warning to hackers that they may be punished. Despite their skill description saying undecided, Banana Peel Cookie's actual skill is that they have a 7 to 14% chance of destroying obstacles when hit, similar to Muscle Cookie but with way worse percentages. Banana Peel Cookie's head would appear next to Robert Padillo's name in the credits of Cookie Run OvenBreak from launch until December 31st, 2019 when the game's credits were updated for the Profit Cookie update. Perhaps someday Banana Peel Cookie can be given a second chance by DevSisters and finally become a real-life character with an actual story. Cookie Run OvenBreak. On September 26, 2016, Cookie Run OvenBreak would be released to a handful of countries before having a global release on October 27, 2016. The game started in development in 2015 as a means of renewing interest in the Cookie Run franchise after the popularity of both Cookie Run for Cacao and Line Cookie Run had peaked at this point, and launched with only Trophy Race as a mode, though unnamed at the time. Later on, additional modes such as the Island of Memories, Breakout, Cookie Trials, Friendly Runs, Guilds, and Story Mode would be added as the game's updates progressed. Currently, Cookie Run OvenBreak has over 150 playable cookies and pets, and the game does not have any signs of having its content flow slow down or stop in the near future. Angel Cookie Stare. Angel Cookie Stare is an infamous sight to behold within the Cookie Run community in a comical way. This originates from a tweet in 2018 around the time that Angel Cookie was given a magic candy where the iconic image will be shown with the caption, "Angel Cookie will hear your wishes." It also became Angel Cookie's unhappy expression when the cookie affection system was introduced in October 2018, and the face would later be capitalized upon in the Cookie Detective events where the face would be seen as suspicious. Pomegranate Cookie's backstory. Despite Pomegranate Cookie being one of the most despised cookies in all of Cookie Run, Pomegranate Cookie wasn't always like this. In the past, Pomegranate Cookie grew up near the sacred pomegranate tree, which was amongst the land of many powerful sorcerers. She was destined for great things, however, that was until she was foretold to follow a great darkness. When an unstoppable force overran her homeland, she knew she had met her destiny and joined Dark Enchantress Cookie. Cookie Run Kingdom. On January 20th, 2021, Dev Sisters released Cookie Run Kingdom, which was a big difference to the normal Cookie Run formula. Cookie Run Kingdom is an RPG game where you can train your cookies to fight for battle, with some tycoon elements implemented in the game as well. You place buildings to stylize your kingdom, and you even get materials out of some of those buildings as well. You use these materials to buy even more complex things later on. In the meantime, you can travel through the game's story mode, claim daily bounties, send cookies on a balloon trip to grab supplies, and many more things. The game became an unexpected success for veteran Cookie Run players in mid to late 2021, thanks to Dev Sisters having a heavy push of marketing for the game, especially in the United States and Japan, with an agreement with Com2uS to further push the marketing within Europe. Currently, Cookie Run Kingdom has more active players and followers than Cookie Run OvenBreak does, and generates on average $12 million in revenue each month as of February 2022. Ancient Cookies. Ancient Cookies are a class of cookies in Cookie Run Kingdom that refer to the 5 cookies who were graced with Soul Jam of the purest kind and faced off against Dark Enchantress Cookie in the prologue of Cookie Run Kingdom. These 5 cookies are White Lily Cookie, Dark Cacao Cookie, Pure Vanilla Cookie, Holly Berry Cookie, and Golden Cheese Cookie. White Lily Cookie is Dark Enchantress Cookie. If you don't know, then you might be thinking, how can White Lily Cookie be Dark Enchantress Cookie when White Lily, along with the other ancient cookies, fought her? Well, let me put it like this. In episodes 7 and 8 in Cookie Run Kingdom's story, Pure Vanilla Cookie and White Lily Cookie were researching the origin and creation of cookies. However, they ended up breaking many of the rules of the Blueberry Yogurt Academy. They even attempted to make living cookies on their own. Even though Pure Vanilla Cookie would soon stop, White Lily didn't. After some lethal accidents, White Lily Cookie would travel to the Tower of Sweet Chaos on the Night of the Witches to learn why cookies were created. However, after learning that cookies were made to be eaten, she couldn't accept it and fell into the ultimate dough. The dough would then go on and bake the one, the only, Dark Enchantress Cookie. Almond Cookie Simps. Almond Cookie is an epic cookie that was released in Cookie Run Kingdom on March 17, 2021. However, this cookie in specific had gotten a lot more of a certain type of attention than other cookies have in the past. I'm not going to name any names, but let me just read 3 comments from the Cookie Run Kingdom wiki page for Almond Cookie. Hot? Marry me now? Well, he's old. Like that's gonna stop me from simping for a DILF. We really need to get Almond Cookie a coffee break. 2021 Cookie Run popularity boost. In 2021, Cookie Run had received a large boost in popularity. This is most likely due to Cookie Run Kingdom's release. Not only that, but Dev Sisters put out many advertisements about the game on YouTube to the point where it's pretty much common to find. Non-binary cookies. There are some cookies who are referred to with male pronouns, and there are others with female pronouns. However, some cookies are actually non-binary. Some of these examples are Angel Cookie, Devil Cookie, Ananas Dragon Cookie, and more. These cookies use they and them pronouns instead. Most people within the fandom genuinely enjoy the decent amount of cookies who are identified as non-binary, as it can push for further acceptance of non-binary people in real life as well as in fiction. NPC Cookies. An NPC, short for non-playable character, is a term to refer to any character in a video game that is not playable. NPC cookies are cookies that you can't play as but exist within the game. Aloe Cookie and Lilac Cookie used to be NPC cookies due to their appearance in previous updates, but aren't anymore as both are now playable characters. However, cookies like Jelly Serpent Cookie, Choco Cup Cookie, Pumpkin Cookie, Host Cookie, Reporter Cookie, and Lollipop Cookie are all examples of NPC cookies. It is possible for these cookies to become playable in the future, though only time will tell if some of these characters become playable. Almond Cookie and Walnut Cookie are father and daughter. This doesn't even stem from the fact that these two are detective cookies. One thing that actually proves this is that in Cookie Run OvenBreak, both Walnut Cookie and Almond Cookie's relationship charts both describe each other as not by friendly or trust, but family. There's more examples like images from the Gingerbread dev Twitter that prove this, but this fact alone should prove it by itself. The Gingerbread dev Twitter loved to show off this connection, and people eat it up, with posts that feature both Almond and Walnut Cookie receiving on average 3,000 to 6,000 likes. Ginger Smirk. Originating all the way back in OvenBreak 2, this refers to Gingerbread's iconic T-pose where he has a smirk on the side of his face. In 2021, the pose and face became a meme where people would edit Gingerbread's face onto other cookies. A Gingerbread dev post even poked fun at the meme with a post showing croissant cookies showing Gingerbread his past self from 2016 having the ginger smirk face, even though the image actually originated in 2012, and Gingerbread denying the connection. Gingerbread is naked. Gingerbread's simplistic design has made dev sisters poke fun at the fact that he is in fact naked. The description for Gingerbread's new frosting in Cookie Run OvenBreak ends with, "But is he really dressed?" along with many posts from the Gingerbread social media accounts poking fun at this fact. April Fool's events. Cookie Run has had its fair share of April Fool's events. In Cookie Run OvenBreak, some past examples include Backwards Gingerbread in 2018, Gingerbread's Trial in 2019, and Gingerbread's Trial in 2020. In 2021, Gingerbread's Trial was under construction and being repaired by the Sugar Gnomes from Cookie Run Kingdom. This would allow you to play a custom April Fool's variant of Gingerbread's Trial. Successfully getting far would give you a special Gingerbread costume of the Sugar Gnomes carrying him. Speaking of costumes, Gingerbread has another costume for April Fool's Day known as 3D Bravery, and by the time that I'm recording this audio, there's a new April Fool's event going on in Cookie Run OvenBreak and Cookie Run Kingdom. There seems to be something going on with invocation cards on April 1st, and I don't know about that yet because it's March 31st and that day hasn't happened yet, but currently in Cookie Run Kingdom, there's a new mysterious mushroom being added to Cookie Run Kingdom. Once you feed a mushroom to a cookie, they transform into an odd version of themselves with the art styles varying. Cookie Run Comics. There exist comics with Cookie Run characters that are primarily targeted towards kids when Cookie Run was still in its line and cacao stage of development. Each comic varies in subject and art style, but their main purpose was to provide an edutainment sort of read, even if some of the situations in the comics made no sense at all. Another thing to note is that the comics have nothing to do with the Cookie Run game's canon lore, but it's still interesting to note that they each have their own stories and continuities. CookieComicCreator.co. This is a website that allows you to create your own Cookie Run comics. Created by the user Syrupy, you're capable of doing many things on this website. Choose your own backgrounds from within the games, choose which cookies should interact with each other, add items like treasures and jellies for props, add text bubbles for dialogue, and so much more. There's seriously a ton of possibilities for you to do on this website. The site was even acknowledged by the Gingerbread dev account on Twitter, making it a piece of officially endorsed Cookie Run fan content. Cookie Run Wikis. There's quite a few wikis that you can find when in regards to Cookie Run content. The first known Cookie Run wiki, hosted by Namu Wiki, is in Korean and is still updated today. Some of the more popular English wikis are built from the website Fandom, which is a wiki hosting service that hosts wikis on entertainment like video games, movies, and more. You can look up information on Cookie Run OvenBreak, Kingdom, Puzzle World, and more. However, dedicated wikis for Kingdom and Cookie Run OvenBreak have cropped up and they're still being updated. Community managers. Companies for big corporations will usually have community managers to basically be the links between the audience of the product and the people working in that organization by being sure to listen to feedback, distributing content, and engaging with the audience in general. Cookie Run has its line of community managers, with the two who are the most recognized being Migmac and Rose, as they appear many times in recent Cookie Run OvenBreak teaser trailers and update reveals, usually doing goofy antics within them. Other community managers include Alyssa, who works for the Kingdom team, and Dev Sam, who used to work for the Puzzle World team. Gingerbread social media accounts. On Twitter and Instagram, there's an account with the handle @gingerbrave_dev, alongside other accounts with similar names but in different languages, where they post content in both English and Korean languages. These include neat pieces of art, animations, reposts, and even posts of Cookie Run characters in real life walking around and doing random stuff. #StopCookieRunNFTs. This was a hashtag that started trending when Dev Sisters announced on their website that they were considering moving forward with an NFT game called Flipfield, with job listings being posted afterwards shortly. Obviously, this did not go over well with the community. This then started one of the largest waves of hate that Dev Sisters had ever received. This included people mass 1-star rating their apps, spreading the hashtag on all of their social medias, and even had it talked about on other news articles. Dev Sisters later made a tweet saying that the project wouldn't use fan art and otherwise dismissed the concerns of NFTs, such as the fact that they're unfriendly to the environment and are considered to be scams by many. Currently, Dev Sisters has renamed the NFT project from Flipfield to Area 51 and is still hiring people to coordinate it. Kingdom YouTubers. On YouTube, there exist many Cookie Run content creators who mainly play Cookie Run Kingdom instead of the other games like Cookie Run OvenBreak and or Cookie Run Puzzle World. Some examples of these YouTubers include Hyrule Legend, Royal Mike, Codeations, and many more. If you're interested in their content, then look them up and give them a subscribe. Mole Maniac. Molemaniac is someone in the Cookie Run community who makes videos and animations surrounding Cookie Run. They're also the admin of a Twitter account whose main purpose is to make every single Cookie Run character bald. His videos are more on the silly side, while Mole himself has a very kind and light-hearted personality. I'd recommend subscribing to him because, in all honesty, he was a big inspiration for me getting into the Cookie Run community in the first place. OvenBreak 2. OvenBreak 2 is the official sequel to the first OvenBreak game in December of 2012. Unlike the original OvenBreak where it had many different game modes, OvenBreak 2 has one game mode which is to score the most points. There was a wider selection of cookies in the game and they were referred to as breakers. The game would soon be removed from the App Store in December of 2013. Cookie Wars. Cookie Wars is a Cookie Run game that was a player versus player tower defense game that was released worldwide in August of 2018, which was also the first Cookie Run game that wasn't a platformer. Players would have to either play in sets of stages to complete a story, play several mini-games for rewards, or fight against other players. The game stopped receiving updates in January of 2019 and shut down in May of 2020. Energy Drink Cookie. Energy Drink Cookie is a cookie who was released specifically for the Cookie Run game Cookie Wars. They were under the rarity of Mythic and had a pet known as Crocoplier. Their skill was splashing an energy drink, dealing damage to nearby enemies. They also have a special skill where once they couldn't battle anymore, their energy drink tank exploded which dealt damage to enemies over time. Energy Drink Cookie would only make a cameo in the April Fool's 2021 event on an energy drink can, which is currently their only legacy as they have never made a full appearance in any Cookie Run game afterwards. Cookie Run Puzzle World. Cookie Run Puzzle World is a Cookie Run game that focuses on match 3 puzzle elements that was released worldwide on January of 2020. Matching jellies will earn you points, and you'd have to complete a certain level condition to beat the level. You could select different cookies who have different abilities to help you in other ways, and also obtain pets that have abilities on their own. The game also features the only playable appearances of Artichoke Cookie and Pinata Cookie as of now, as well as the return of some Lion and Cacao only pets that were forgotten in newer games, which are Luck-O-Lantern and King Chaka Drop. The game stopped receiving updates in April 2021, though Dev Sisters have begun development of a new game called Cookie Run The Witch's Castle that will serve as a replacement for Puzzle World and has ties with the popular and financially successful Cookie Run Kingdom. Cookie Droid. Cookie Droid is a cookie with a special class who was released on April 22, 2020 for Android devices. To obtain them today, you'd have to obtain Google Play points and spend 200 for 7 Cookie Droids, 100 for Cookie Droid's pet play block, and another 100 for their jelly set. Their skill was to download game app data at certain intervals. After downloading data, many different elements of certain games will appear which will grant you points. Cookie Droid can no longer be obtained in Cookie Run OvenBreak if you're an iOS user or you don't live in a country with a Google Play points program, unfortunately. Hello Kitty. Cookie Run did a collaboration with Hello Kitty from November to December of 2018, where she and her sister Mimi would arrive in Cookie Run OvenBreak. She came with a pet known as Red Apple, and her skill made balloon jellies appear given intervals. Collecting enough of these jellies would make her fly, and then color bubble jellies that are created. She even had a costume that was Strawberry Cookie's hoodie. Infamously, Hello Kitty had a low chance of being obtained, with only a 5% chance from Special Cookie Chest and Hello Kitty Chest, and was required in order to complete the event. In 2019, Dev Sisters did state in a fan meetup that it is possible that they would collaborate with Sanrio again in order to have the Hello Kitty items available again, though as of February 2022, this has yet to happen. And by the time that I'm recording this audio, it's actually April of 2022, and it's still yet to happen. Mimi. Mimi is Hello Kitty's sister that was released alongside her, who's also a special class cookie. She had a pet of her own named Yellow Flower, and her skill was collecting seedling jellies and watering pot jellies to grow flowers that cover holes and create flower jellies. Mimi would be also given for free alongside her pet when the player enters the Hello Kitty event, as well as being more common than her sister in the Hello Kitty chest, where you can only get the Hello Kitty items. Sonic and Tails. Cookie Run Kingdom did a crossover with Sega in celebration for Sonic the Hedgehog's 30th anniversary from September to October of 2021. To celebrate this, Dev Sister added Sonic Cookie and Tails Cookie into the game, along with a few events promoting them. Sonic Cookie's skill had him curl into a ball, spinning rapidly and bursting forward at super speed, not only dealing damage to each enemy in succession, but also increasing attack speed to allies. Tails Cookie's skill was the exact same, except he raised the defense of his allies instead. OvenBreak Skittles. Back in the original OvenBreak, Skittles ended up doing a collaboration with them. This would be a similar version to OvenBreak Interspace, but adds a mode called Summer Special, which changed normal jellies and other things into Skittles. In the final version of OvenBreak, all of the stages are the same except for Summer Special, where they changed the Skittles into colorful jellies. A promotional video of a song sung to celebrate OvenBreak Skittles was also created. Run Kfc Promotion. Even KFC collaborated with Cookie Run, however sadly this was only in South Korea. The promotion ran in February and March of 2021, and promotions of this include a short commercial of Gingerbread eating a spicy chicken sandwich as chili pepper cookie and a cookie version of Colonel Sanders watch, and even pictures and videos of Cookie Colonel Sanders and Gingerbread together next to each other in real life. They advertised a value pack meal for $14 to $20, or in South Korean won, 17,400 to 22,700. The meal offered a chicken wrap, a bowl of coleslaw, 2 chicken legs, a pack of fries, 2 cups of Coca-Cola, and even their patented Colonel Ghost Hunter burger. The meals also came with a coupon code for Cookie Run Kingdom that, when redeemed, would give the player 2,000 crystals. Gingerbread and Dozer are brothers. When playing the prologue, you play as Dozer. Once you reach the end of the level, Dozer stares at a swirly lollipop, causing him to lose consciousness. After those events, playing in the training mode has a scene pop up before playing with Gingerbread saying, "Rest well, my brother." If this is to be taken literally, this means that Dozer and Gingerbread are siblings. Hooking. Hooking was a feature exclusive to the original OvenBreak game. If there's a long horizontal object in the air, jumping and pressing the slide button the moment Gingerbread is near that object will cause him to hook onto it with his candy cane and leap forward. Dozer can also hook as well. Hooking can also be done 2 times in succession if the game places 2 hookable objects consecutively, typically to cross a large gap or hole that jumping cannot conquer, though some hooks are traps and they can immediately lead Gingerbread into an obstacle upon landing afterwards. Cookie quests. In the early days of Cookie Run OvenBreak, a function was released in November of 2016 called Cookie Quests. The purpose of these were to complete missions from certain cookies in order to get rewards such as coins, crystals, escape points, and cookie badges, which DevSisters announced could be exchanged for crystals. However, in April of 2018, this function was removed for the current game's quest system. Brave Cookie. Brave Cookie was the name given to Gingerbread in Line and Cacao Cookie Run. Along with this, his pet Choco Drop was named Drop of Choco instead. Bright Cookie. Much like Brave Cookie, Bright Cookie was the name given to Gingerbread in Line and Cacao Cookie Run, and also like Gingerbread's pet, her pet Cheese Drop was named Cheeseberry instead. Ginger Claus. Ginger Claus is the Cookie Run version of Santa Claus. While looking identical to Gingerbread, he appeared as the playable character in OvenBreak 2 and Line and Cacao Cookie Run. In Cookie Run OvenBreak, Ginger Claus is present as a costume for Gingerbread known as Some Cookies Ginger Claus costume. The Witch. The Witch is the main antagonist of Cookie Run, despite her not making many appearances in the majority of the stories of Cookie Run. To date, her most important role is in the first Cookie Run game, OvenBreak, where she has an omnipresent role where she is actively hunting down Gingerbread and is even shown to have Dozer captive in one image. It reaches the climax where Gingerbread seemingly voluntarily enters the Witch's body to respond to a cry for help. The Witch's face would also be displayed in full, which would be a dropped concept afterwards. From Cookie Run for Cacao onwards, the Witch would play a much less important role, only being the first obstacle of a cookie's escape and then afterwards leaving the escaped cookie alone seemingly. The Witch would also be only dignified with a silhouette afterwards, never being depicted with her original appearance again, with the exception of OvenBreak 2, where her face appears when the Witch herself is one of the 12 fake Facebook friends. However, she's the one who bakes the majority of the cookies who end up coming to life, but her intention is to eat them all. It's even said that there are multiple witches who do the same thing. Police Cookie. Police Cookie is a Cookie Run NPC who usually appears in a pop-up whenever the game detects a form of cheating or hacking. Police Cookie will appear with a warning that further unfair play will result in consequences that could lead up to a permanent ban. Police Cookie is the cookie who also authorized Kiwi Cookie's driver's license, where their name is confirmed. The only other nickname the cookie has is the Cookie Cop. Police Cookie never appeared in any actual games or stories aside from an event in Line Cookie Run. Land 6 Wolf. In Land 6 of Cookie Run OvenBreak, specifically in the Blizzard Zone portion of the stage, you can barely see a large wolf with glowing blue eyes in the right side of the background. Its purpose of being there is unknown, but it's pretty creepy to know that you're being watched the whole time while you're running. The 5 Dragon Cookies. We know the existence of 5 cookie dragons in Cookie Run OvenBreak, with as of this moment 4 of them being playable. The dragons are Pitaya Dragon Cookie, Ananas Dragon Cookie, Lotus Dragon Cookie, Lychee Dragon Cookie, and a 5th dragon yet to be shown, but is ivory in color and has great wisdom according to Mango Cookie. Dark Chocolate Cookie's backstory. Much like Pomegranate Cookie, Dark Chocolate Cookie in his past was very different from who he was today. He used to be a noble young prince protecting others from the evils of the world. However, one day, Dark Chocolate heard something about a sword that could save his kingdom. Once he found the dreaded Strawberry Jam Sword, the darkness that surged from the blade slowly took over Dark Chocolate Cookie. Dark clouds and thunderstorms now follow this cookie, and he now serves under Dark Enchantress. Some have said that Dark Choco is still trying to fight the darkness inside of him to regain control. And in a recent Cookie Run Kingdom update, Dark Chocolate Cookie returns to his kingdom, but not to apologize or make peace, but to further Dark Enchantress' conquest. Dark Chocolate Cookie's hair conditioner. This is a reference to a video that the Cookie Run YouTube channel released once they hit 100,000 subscribers. Big Mac promised that when they hit this milestone, they'd talk more about Dark Chocolate Cookie's hair since they released Dark Chocolate Cookie's young prince costume. It was even included in Chestnut Cookie's Complete the Newspaper event. He almost revealed it once, but couldn't due to interruptions with Ion Cookie Robot. In the milestone video, Big Mac tried digging for the hair conditioner and eventually found it, However, before we could see it, the video cut off with the text "to be continued." With the joke being unmentioned for over 2 years now, it's likely that the Cookie Herald event was intended to be the be-all, end-all answer to the conditioner. Timekeeper Cookie is Croissant Cookie. In the Cookie Run event Operation Time Guard, it was confirmed that Timekeeper Cookie was Croissant Cookie. This was because in the timeline before Croissant became Timekeeper, Croissant Cookie mastered how to travel through time, however did not care about the consequences that changing time would erupt. In Operation Time Guard, the Croissant Cookie we know wouldn't end up being like Timekeeper and instead would focus on being the greatest time engineer for the time balance department. Cherry Cookie and Cherry Blossom Cookie are sisters. It's confirmed in both Cherry and Cherry Blossom Cookie's relationship charts that they're both related as siblings, with even Cherry Cookie saying about Cherry Blossom Cookie, "My sister's sandwiches, they're explodingly good." Costume Gacha complaints. The Costume Gacha, which was added with Plum Cookie in June 2019, has been met with criticism by fans. Many costumes that were previously available with low prices were now inflated in value, and the value of Rainbow Cubes in general was greatly inflated. Despite many fans complaining about the rates of the Costume Gacha and how they were generally unfair, no alterations to the Costume Gacha and its rates were ever made. Cookie Run Kingdom Art Book. Dev Sisters had sold a Cookie Run Kingdom art book at one point, and even had another limited edition version of it sold that came with the art book itself, along with other things like a game coupon code, a limited game item, postcards, and more. The art book itself has pictures of cookies with information about them, and even sketches and drafts of drawings. The art book sold out very quickly and is now considered a desirable item by most Cookie Run fans. Cookie Run Font. From the launch of Cookie Run OvenBreak until sometime in 2019, the in-game font used to be the Mikado family of fonts, but it was later changed to a unique font in late 2019. The font is available to download officially and even has Unicode support for the heads of Gingerbread, Gingerbread, Strawberry Cookie, Skater Cookie, and Zombie Cookie. Translation errors. Cookie Run has had its fair share of translation errors in English and probably in other languages as well. For example, if you had Fairy Cookie in your lobby and she would give you a daily gift, she'd say, "It for you," which would soon be replaced with her saying, "I've a gift for you." iOS update delays. There will be times whenever a new Cookie Run update comes out, it was sometimes released later than normal for iOS players. When the Happy Cookie Festival update released, Dev Sisters tried to rectify the situation by releasing the update early for the iOS App Store. However, if you tried to play the game when the update was released early, you still normally wouldn't be able to until the maintenance was done for the update, and all players could play at the same time. The Android version of Kingdom is poorly optimized. The Android version of Cookie Run Kingdom has many compatibility issues for Android devices, leaving high system requirements to run the game. In addition, many players of the Android versions of the game complain about the game's battery consumption. One Cookie Kingdom misconception. Before the release of Cookie Run Kingdom, it was assumed that the Cookie Kingdom that appeared in Lion Cacao Cookie Run and Shattered Kingdom from Cookie Run Kingdom were the same location. However, Cookie Run Kingdom rectified this by making the Cookie Kingdom seen in Lion Cacao Cookie Run the Hollyberry Kingdom, which for some reason is no longer in Ruins Kingdom, and Shattered Kingdom being the Dark Cacao Kingdom. Cinnamon Cookie's gender change. When Cinnamon Cookie was first released in Lion Cacao Cookie Run, their gender was listed under non-binary. However, in Cookie Run OvenBreak, his gender was changed to male. The explanation for why this change was implemented is unknown. Princess Cookie's family. Princess Cookie has an interesting family. First, Princess Cookie is actually sisters with Tiger Lily Cookie, however the two of them don't actually know about it due to them being separated at a young age. Even Princess Cookie says to Tiger Lily in her relationship chart, "This cookie seems so familiar." Princess and Tiger Lily's parents are Jungleberry Cookie and Royalberry Cookie as their mom and dad. With these two mentioned, Hollyberry Cookie is actually the mother of both Jungleberry and Royalberry Cookie, making her basically the grandma for Princess and Tiger Lily. Red Dragon. The Red Dragon is a character that first appeared in Lion Cacao Cookie Run when it was a prominent figure in the Dragon's Valley sleeping in its den. However, Fire Spirit Cookie burned its nose hairs off somehow and sent him on a frenzy, causing Dragon's Valley to erupt violently to the point where it could be seen and felt from places as far away as Primeval Jungle and the City of Wizards. In later games, Pattaya Dragon Cookie was introduced, who was intended to be the Red Dragon presenting himself as a cookie. However, a variety of issues and plot holes stem from this connection, which will be elaborated upon later. Ordinary Cookie. Hero Cookie's identity prior to being known as, well, Hero Cookie was Ordinary Cookie. This is also supported in Cookie Run Munjo Munjo, where Hero in both his suited and normal forms are present, and his normal variant is called Ordinary Cookie. Sentient Obstacles. A large portion of obstacles in Cookie Run aren't just something as simple as pits or rocks. Some of these obstacles have full-on faces, can move in certain directions, and even be animals. Has anyone ever thought how they must feel when you slam through them after drinking a giant potion? These obstacles move, have faces, and react, so surely they must have lives, and we just avoid them and destroy them. Winking Face. Both Ice Candy Cookie and Sparkling Cookie have quotes with a winking face within them. Ice Candy Cookie says, "Try to stop me if you can," and Sparkling Cookie says, "This one is on me," with both quotes having winking faces at the end. These are the only cookies that have this quirk, and both were released close to each other. Russian Fandom. The Russian fandom is interesting, as Dev Sisters abandoned translations for this language back in 2018. This fandom is also as big as the Japanese Cookie Run fandom, even though Japanese is still a supported language despite being one of the smallest supported. Kingdom-only players. Due to a large raise in the popularity because of Cookie Run Kingdom's release and advertising in early 2021, it makes sense to note that people will most likely lean towards Cookie Run Kingdom instead of Cookie Run OvenBreak or any other Cookie Run game. Some don't even know the existence of the other games at all. I like cheese. This is in reference to a tweet that the Dev Sisters Twitter account posted back in 2012. Why? Who knows, they just like cheese. The Cutting Room Floor. The Cutting Room Floor is a wiki page which is used to catalog unused content or content found within the files of video games. The site covers a large variety of genres and platforms of games. Considering what this iceberg is about, they also have many things Cookie Run related as well. What's a DILF? You gotta be kidding me. This refers to a tweet posted by Ray Chase, who's the English voice actor for Almond Cookie in Cookie Run Kingdom on Twitter. Even after posting this, they responded by saying it seems to be a type of cookie. Ray, I'm gonna be honest with you, bud. I think it's best to let this question get buried in a coffin. Though if you're wondering, DILF stands for Dad I Like the Eggnog Cookie Thirst. Oh, it gets worse! When Eggnog Cookie got released for the Miracle of Winter Gifts update for Cookie Run OvenBreak, it seemed that there happened to be a lot of people in the Cookie Run community talking about Eggnog Cookie being the new DILF, possibly an even bigger one than Almond Cookie. Rule 34. Rule 34 is an infamous internet rule saying that if it exists, there's not safe for work material for it. Well, not those words exactly, but the main point is that Cookie Run, it's also a victim of this too. I don't think I want to explain this any further, and I think I just want to move on. Cookie Run 2. Cookie Run 2 was the original title for Cookie Run OvenBreak, as it was the game created after Cookie Run, which we refer to as Line and Cacao Cookie Run. This was found out when Dev Sisters revealed the development of a sequel to Cookie Run in April of 2015. However, ever since its global release, the game has been officially called Cookie Run OvenBreak. One of the goals of the game was to further push to the United States, though the marketing of Cookie Run OvenBreak in the United States was minimal at best, even today. Cookie Run Munjul Munjul. Cookie Run Munjul Munjul was basically a Cookie Run version of Disney's Tsum Tsum, which is a puzzle game where the heads of cookies would fall down and you'd have to swipe lines through a cookie's head, but make sure the line goes through multiple of the same cookie's head. This was published by NHN Entertainment in May of 2014. Gut Instinct. Gut Instinct is a mode in the original OvenBreak where Gingerbread travels inside of the witch's stomach. The main goal is to collect food to stop the stomach acid from getting higher. This can be done by either getting enough jellies to get a large hot dog or collecting french fries around the level. Failing to conquer the acid causes the level to flood and have Gingerbread succumb to the acid. Broken Hearts. Broken Hearts is a mode in the original OvenBreak where Gingerbread enters the witch's heart. The Axeman will chase Gingerbread in this level and you'll have to run away. To get away easier, you'll have to find green tiles that increase Gingerbread's speed. Stepping on pinkish red tiles will cause Gingerbread to slow down and be caught by the Axeman. Grand Champions League Grand Prix. The Grand Champions League Grand Prix was intended to be the Champions League of the Grand Champions League, where each winner of the Grand Champions League during 2020 would face off in a final showdown for one true winner to come out on top in the end. The event was planned to be in person and live streamed. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown regulations, it was announced that the event would be postponed and later cancelled. Despite having several maps made ready for the event and even available for a sampler event, while the Champions League had to continue in 2022, no Grand Prix was announced. Ballin' GB. This is a piece of artwork of Gingerbread in an Oklahoma City Thunder uniform playing basketball. It was drawn by Yuhee Jeong for OvenBreak 2011, supposedly for promotional purposes, but that doesn't change how odd it is. Biker Aloe Cookie. Biker Aloe Cookie, or Rider Aloe, is an old concept version of Aloe Cookie who's much different from the Aloe Cookie we ended up getting. She seemed more fixated on traveling to other places on her motorbike. Heck, she even laughs at Kiwi's motorcycle. Hidden Hermit. Hidden Hermit is a Line and Cacao Cookie Run NPC. Their purpose is to give players tips in the Cookie Run newsletter. Some of these tips include how to become rich, how to enter the special bonus time, and even tips for what to do when your game crashes. Mint Cocoa. Mint Cocoa is the ship between Mint Shaka Cookie and Cocoa Cookie. Interestingly enough, this ship is more than confirmed, as one of the strongest reasons for that is the song called I Miss You, which is a song released on the YouTube channel Cookie Box. The voice actors for Mint Shaka Cookie and Cocoa Cookie for Cookie Run Kingdom in Korean are also married in real life. That's pretty cute. The Night of the Witches. It's said that every 1,000 years, all of the witches who are near and far come together for this event. This was the same event that created Dark Enchantress Cookie, who managed to escape by bringing chaos down upon the witches. Earthbread vs. Cookie World. The Cookie World was the term used to describe the Cookie Run universe before Cookie Run Kingdom. Ever since Cookie Run Kingdom released, it's now known as Earthbread instead. This is only a name change, it doesn't go much further sadly. Desert Forest. The Desert Forest is a location that's protected by Wind Archer Cookie. While not much is known about this place, it's heavily connected to Wind Archer Cookie. He's known to protect it with his Zephyr of Life costume, and he even mentions it during the Cookie Sweet Gifts event. If you give him a vanilla jelly, he will say, "This delightful fragrance reminds me of the Desert Forest." Kiwi Cookie's driver's license. Yes, Kiwi Cookie does need a driver's license to drive his motorcycle. It ends later this year on December 21st, 2022, his address is really anywhere, and is police cookie approved. There's also a little fun fact about this item. If you take the 16-digit code under his name, Amazing Kiwi Cook 2, and use it as a coupon code in Line and Cacao Cookie Run, you can receive 10 crystals. Earl Grey Cookie is Chess Choco Cookie's butler. If you look at the Bake My Day video featuring Chess Choco Cookie and Earl Grey Cookie started treating both of the Chess Choco Cookies with class ever since he noticed that they were giving his hotel much attention, from giving them drinks, to making sure their clothes were neat, to even having giant chess statues clean for them. Wizard Cookie is a kid. He may act smart and wise for his age, but there's an event that confirms he's a child. In Line and Cacao Cookie Run, there was a limited time event known as the Junior Cookie Challenge that required players to complete missions for certain child cookies. The cookies listed were Gingerbread, Gingerbread, Strawberry Cookie, Angel Cookie, Cherry Cookie, Snow Sugar Cookie, Apple Cookie, Soda Cookie, and of course, Wizard Cookie. Peach Cookie's hair is fake. She may look as if she has two adorable peaches as part of her hair, but in reality they aren't part of her hair at all. They are indeed peaches, but they're real peach fruits that she attached to her hair in a sort of ox horns hairstyle according to her story. Kamiho Cookie having dark implications. Kamiho Cookie's concept is that she can morph from a cookie in a fox and can also have other cookies attracted and seduced by her just by looking at her. However, this is just only to deceive you so she can steal your jellies. However, she's actually based off the real Kamiho, who's a creature within Korean mythology. The real Kamiho would also use their charm to attract other people, but this is only to deceive them so they could eat their heart or liver. Onion Cookie is dead. There's a few reasons and implications as to why Onion Cookie could be dead and is just a roaming ghost. Her voice has an echoed effect to it, giving her some sort of otherworldly tone. In the Bond story, Ghost of the Tower, between Onion Cookie and Blackberry Cookie, Onion Cookie mentions how during a game of hide and seek, she fell asleep. When she woke up, everyone was gone. Also in Cookie Run OvenBreak, when using the Easy Camera treasure with Onion Cookie doesn't appear in the photos when the camera takes a picture. Another piece of incrementing evidence relating to her death is the chandelier item in Kingdom, which is supposedly how Onion Cookie was killed, being crushed by a falling chandelier. Dark Choco Cookie's Young Prince costume is from the comics. It's confirmed that in the Cookie Run comics, Dark Choco Cookie's costume, Young Prince, was revealed in a comic that came out in August of 2017. However, in Cookie Run OvenBreak, the Young Prince costume was released in the game of April 2019, existing before even appearing in Cookie Run OvenBreak. Squid Ink Cookie using she and her pronouns. Squid Ink Cookie generally uses they and them pronouns. However, on the Cookie Run Puzzle World Twitter, they released a tweet saying, "Have you played #HelloBraveCookies today? Squid Ink Cookie is counting on you to help her through the new episode." Angel Cookie using she and her pronouns. In Line and Cacao Cookie Run, Angel Cookie was referred to with the she and her pronouns in their description. However, this was silently updated in the Cookie Run New World update. This was mainly because of an incorrect translation. Angel Cookie was once again referred to with she and her pronouns in Devil Cookie's Cookie Quest in Cookie Run OvenBreak, where one of the quests was to make Angel Cookie fall into a hole, where Devil Cookie explicitly referred to Angel Cookie as a her, but this was later rectified. Somewhat related, but internally in Cookie Run for Cacao, Angel Cookie is considered a male cookie. Sorbet Shark Cookie using she and her pronouns. In previous versions of Cookie Run Kingdom, the game referred to them with she and her pronouns on the loading screen. One of the community managers, Alyssa, confirmed that this was a mistake and it would be fixed soon. Strawberry Crepe Cookie using he and him pronouns. I mentioned this in a fact video, but when the trailer for Strawberry Crepe Cookie in Cookie Run Kingdom released, the description listed them as male. However, the description for the video was soon updated to remove any of their pronouns. Original line cookie names. Much like Brave and Bright Cookie, there were other cookies in Line Cacao Cookie Run that had different names than the ones we know today. For example, Skater Cookie was known as Border Cookie, Kamiho Cookie was known as Ninetails Cookie, and Red Pepper Cookie was known as Muay Thai Cookie. Hand of Liker. Hand of Liker was a Line and Cacao Cookie Run pet that was released since launch in Cacao, but was only available for a brief time in Line due to an error, being available from December 22nd, 2016, and removed on January 7th, 2017. The pet resembled the Facebook-like icon. The Hand of Liker also appeared previously in OvenBreak 2, where it could be unlocked by liking the OvenBreak Facebook page. Coffee Cookie in OvenBreak. Coffee Cookie's last appearance was in Line and Cacao Cookie Run as a playable character. Ever since then, we haven't seen her since. She was going to be a playable character in Cookie Run OvenBreak at launch, but was dropped for unknown reasons. However, during the Super Fashion Week update, you can see Coffee Cookie in the background of one of the cutscenes near Hero Cookie, and a few other unrecognizable cookies. Banana Cookie and Cookie Run OvenBreak delays. Banana Cookie was originally intended to be released in Cookie Run OvenBreak in 2018, likely around September of that year, but was scrapped for unknown reasons. She was finally released in March 2021 for the Fantabulous Pudding Circus update. Unused music. There's a solid amount of Cookie Run music that never made it into the game. One example is from Line and Cacao Cookie Run that's a remix of the Tower of Frozen Waves theme. There's another track in the game which is a version of the world map theme, but with the addition of ambient sounds of birds chirping. Cookie Run OvenBreak also has many unused songs, such as an early Land 5 theme that sounds awfully similar to the 2019 Halloween Friendly Run lobby, and an alternate song that plays during the Cheerleader boss events that's a remix of the Land 1 theme. The Android version of OvenBreak 2011 is bad. The Android version of the game utilizes a gummy system to unlock further levels, which is an attempt at a freemium currency, unlike iOS versions, which unlock the next stage after reaching the end of the previous one. The game also has intense amounts of lag and incorrectly gives Dozer's jumps and slides sounds to Gingerbread, as well as the flooring being aligned poorly and the music loops having noticeable gaps and would sometimes stop playing music altogether. The game was also hardly ever updated. If you still have an old iPad, iPod, or iPhone lying around and want to play the first OvenBreak game, just jailbreak your device and play the iOS version of the game, and don't waste your time with the Android version. Looks badass. The Cookie Run Twitter account released a picture of Dark Choco Cookie saying, once you reach escape level 29, you may unlock Dark Choco Cookie. Looks badass, which is generally seen as odd as the word badass contains the word ass in it, which is considered profanity, albeit on the lighter side, the tweet is still up today. Cookie Run merchandise. Cookie Run has a good amount of merchandise. Things that you can buy in regards to Cookie Run related merchandise are figures, pins, and even a Gingerbread plushie. By the time that I'm recording this, one of their most recent available items is a Cookie Run Kingdom Lego set. Bootlegs. When a series gets popular, there's bound to be bootleg merchandise made about it. This is merchandise about the series that hasn't been endorsed or created by dev sisters. Examples of bootleg merch for Cookie Run includes plushies, clothing, and unauthorized usage on signs for public businesses. There's even a whole shop that has Pirate Cookie at the front sign. Cookie Run for QQ. The Lion Cacao version of Cookie Run has also been released in China, but localized by iSkybox, a subsidiary of Tencent. The messaging system it operates on goes by the name of Tencent QQ, which made the game referred to as Cookie Run QQ. Tencent QQ is an instant messaging software service and web portal developed by the Chinese tech company Tencent. It's had its updates go up until Kiwi Cookie and shut down sometime later around 2016. Talking Tom Candy Run. Talking Tom Candy Run is an endless running app game that stars Talking Tom, a popular character created by Outfit 7, where you control Tom along with other characters and collect candy to gain points. This game has a very close resemblance to Cookie Run OvenBreak. From loading up the game to see a white screen with the company's name in a reddish-orangish logo, to the characters in the app icon in the same pose, having crystals as currency, having your character in the main menu lobby, and even the concept of candy collecting. They of course have their differences, but the similarities are there. Cream Cookie and Cookie Wars. Cream Cookie was an unreleased character within Cookie Wars, with her previous appearance being in Lion and Cacao Cookie Run. Based on what was found, she was potentially going to be a part of a tutorial and had been assigned an internal number to be playable, but Dev Sisters hadn't gone through with the plans. She was only ever found within the files of the game before being removed after the closed beta test period. Special Force Cookie and OvenBreak. Special Force Cookie was going to reappear in Cookie Run OvenBreak at the game's launch, as she was present in some Cookie thumbnail images for Trophy Race. However, she was dropped from the game for unknown reasons. Flowercopter and Cookie Run OvenBreak. Flowercopter was the original pet for Strawberry Cookie in Lion and Cacao Cookie Run. In Cookie Run OvenBreak, Flowercopter's shop sprite was found within the data of the game during development. However, they got replaced with Strawberry Cookie's current pet, Pocket Strawberry. The graphic for Flowercopter in the file still exists today. Coconut Cookie. Coconut Cookie was the beta version of Ice Candy Cookie that was originally mentioned in a livestream. Their design was heavily different from what we ended up getting. Instead of a hockey player, she was going to be a football player with a coconut helmet, a football outfit, a football under her arm, and even a football pet. The concept was changed in order to fit with the Winter Olympics. Rebel Cookie and Line Delay. Rebel Cookie was a cookie that was originally released in Lion and Cacao Cookie Run. His skill was being able to instantly land when pressing the slide button after a 3 to 10 multi-step jump. He is notable for taking a very long time to release in Lion Cookie Run, and it was assumed that for the longest time that Rebel Cookie, who was then known by the fan nickname of Monk Cookie, would never come to line. But Rebel Cookie would finally appear in November of 2016. Unfortunately, Rebel Cookie hasn't appeared in Cookie Run OvenBreak as of writing this. Wheat Cookie. This was the name given to Rye Cookie in Cookie Run Kingdom when regarding some pre-release information. This brought up some confusion onto what her real name was, but we would soon find out that her name would officially be Rye Cookie. Explorer Banana Cookie. Within the files of Line and Cacao Cookie Run, before the release of cookies such as Cotton Candy and Roll Cake, Banana Cookie had a different design than what we know of. She looked the same, except her outfit was yellow with a brown belt or something similar. This early design would be cemented to her character, with a description in the game saying that she used to be a world-famous explorer. Donut Cookie and Alien Cookie. These two beta cookies were the evolution of Space Donut. Reviewed in a Dev Sisters tweet, Donut Cookie was supposed to be a young kid with a pink frosted sprinkled donut as a water floaty around his waist, and Alien Cookie, on the other hand, was a blue cookie with an astronaut outfit. In the end, the two of them had turned into Space Donut. Interestingly, a three-eyed green cookie intended to be an alien was created in the concept art of OvenBreak 2009, though this character never materialized beyond that. That's Snow Sugar Cookie. On a Facebook post when asked if Snow Sugar Cookie was a boy or a girl, Dev Sisters simply responded, "That's Snow Sugar Cookie." Currently, Snow Sugar Cookie goes by the pronouns of they and them. Snow Sugar Cookie using he and him pronouns. Snow Sugar Cookie's costume, Aurora Cloak, when first released, had mistakenly referred to Snow Sugar Cookie as male. This would quickly be fixed to neutral pronouns not even a day later. On an additional note, Snow Sugar Cookie is considered a female cookie internally in Line and Cacao Cookie Run, despite always being described as a cookie who is neither female nor male, whether being gender neutral or explicitly non-binary. Amber Sugar Cookie using he and him and she and her pronouns simultaneously. When Amber Sugar Cookie released during the Labyrinth of Remembrance update, he had used feminine pronouns. This would soon be corrected in his story and within a few minutes of release, and also fixed in the Labyrinth of Remembrance story hours later. Homosexual characters. Seafaring Cookie had a desire to reach the moon, and as a sort of tongue-in-cheek reference to the fact that oceans are pulled by tides from the moon. However, Seafaring Cookie's attraction to the moon has been seen as romantic by some, and in several pieces of artwork, Moonlight Cookie and Seafaring Cookie can be seen together enjoying each other's company. This has since been accepted by the fandom that Seafaring Cookie and Moonlight Cookie are lesbian lovers. Cacao Chuseok costumes. In Cookie Run for Cacao, there were costumes given to some cookies to celebrate Chuseok. Some also refer to it as Korean Thanksgiving Day, and it's a big holiday in Korea. So big that some cookies got their own costumes for it. Some examples are Rebel Cookie and Kamiho Cookie. In Cookie Run OvenBreak, Pancake Cookie would also get a handbox of his own. Kamiho Cookie's Chuseok costume would also later be ported to Cookie Run OvenBreak in September 2018, when Kamiho Cookie was given a magic candy. Line and Cacao New Year's costumes. For both Line and Cacao Cookie Run, much like Chuseok, some cookies had some costumes available to them during the Chinese New Year. Rebel Cookie and Kamiho Cookie are the only examples of this. T-posing Strawberry, Cloud, and Ninja. These are poses of playable cookies in OvenBreak 2. Specifically, they consist of Gingerberry, Ginger Boogie, and Gingerbread. The only playable cookie in this game who doesn't T-pose is Gingerbold. Easy Camera Easter Eggs. Several cookies in Cookie Run OvenBreak produce interesting results when using the Easy Camera treasure. When Pirate Cookie is in his ghost mode, he will not appear in photos. Dark Enchantress Cookie and Onion Cookie will also not appear in photographs. Using the Easy Camera with Dr. Bones Cookie will also have the picture stylized like an X-ray with a black border to boot. Rockstar Cookie's flavor. Unlike a lot of cookies, it's unclear as to what flavor Rockstar Cookie is. It's confirmed that he was the first cookie to discover rock and roll in the oven, however, there's nothing that tells us what's in his dough or what he even tastes like. Even cookies like Zombie Cookie are confirmed to be made out of melted chocolate and strawberry jam. Poop comic. Yes, this is real. On December 18, 2015, a Cookie Run comic published as part of the Common Sense Science series known as Kukilian Guri Guri Guahang Sangsik, or roughly in English, Cookie Run Guri Guri Common Sense, though more commonly known as the Poop comic in the community, is a comic containing 25 Cookie Run stories relating to poop. Like I said, this is real. The comic is infamous for its absurd out-of-context moments such as Princess Cookie voring Night Cookie and Vampire Cookie having bedwetting problems. Burning Sun Guild. This was a guild in Cookie Run OvenBreak that was making fun of the Burning Sun scandal and was heavily criticized by players of Cookie Run in 2019 with hashtags and several occurrences of fan outcry to ban the guild. The guild was later renamed. Hi Bye Mama. This is a Korean drama series that debuted in 2020 that had tie-ins with Cookie Run, such as several plushies appearing in a crane machine and a giant Gingerbread plush inside of a girl's room. This promotion would lead to Cotton Candy Cookie getting her very own line of merchandise. Cookie Run OvenBreak forums. This was a forum created to discuss Cookie Run OvenBreak that was officially created and maintained by Dev Sisters. Due to being built from the ground up as well as Migmac being the only active moderator, the forums would often be subject to bots creating spam posts, as well as several raids or trolling instances. It was shut down in January 2020 in favor of the official Cookie Run OvenBreak Discord server. Unused Cookie Run OvenBreak music and Chinese YouTube videos. A variety of Chinese Cookie Run videos and social media posts use music exclusive to those posts. Some can be remixes of songs that already exist, such as the OvenBreak 2 theme, Ghost Pirates Island of Coins, and the collection theme in OvenBreak 2011, as well as some unique music tracks not used elsewhere. Even a song in one of the videos during Cookie Run OvenBreak's 2nd anniversary would later be used as Muscle Cookie's trial theme. Scrapped Kingdom cookies. In an early version of Cookie Run Kingdom, which can be viewed if you look up the video Cookie Run Kingdom Dev Sisters lineup, you'll see that there were cookies that existed but never appeared when the game officially launched, from Gingerbread, Wind Archer cookie, and even an entirely new cookie with a black cloak and a red symbol on the top of their outfit. Some cookies such as Carol cookie, Soda cookie, and even DJ cookie would even appear in modern materials with the implications of them being released, but these would later prove to be red herrings. Cookie Run Puzzle World betas. During development, Cookie Run Puzzle World had undergone a handful of different betas. During early development, the game was called Cookie Run Mysterious Jelly Dictionary, and then Cookie Run and Fantastic Jellies. Then later, Cookie Puzzle. And then after having one last name of Cookie Run Cookie Puzzle World, in the game's official soft launch, the game was then called Cookie Run Jelly Pop. Then it would be called Hello Brave Cookies during its first seasons. And then the game would finally decide on the name Cookie Run Puzzle World. Cookie Run Kingdom prototypes. Cookie Run Kingdom has most likely had different prototypes in the works whilst in production. If you look up the video, again, Cookie Run Kingdom Dev Sisters lineup, you can see how different Cookie Run Kingdom was compared to today. Overworld animations weren't as fluent, the logo was different, and even included what looked like minigames to play. Cookies such as Gingerbread, Carol, Cheesecake, and Rockstar were shown in a playable state as well, and for some bizarre reason, Adventurer Cookie had purple hair. Concept art. Concept art is an inevitable part of game development, with Cookie Run being no exception. Some Cookie Run artists, as well as the Dev Sisters Twitter account, have shared concept art for Cookie Run, though it's likely that there's much more that hasn't been shared publicly. Placeholder Graphics. Sometimes before the proper release of a cookie, pet, or other feature in the game, the developers would create placeholder assets to take the place of a cookie for playtesting purposes. Some examples of this include a cherry-themed wizard cookie for Cherry Cookie, a green-pink chocolate cookie for Apple Cookie, a blue dragon's tail for Snow Blossom, and Kamiho Cookie wearing a green dress for Carol Cookie. Some graphics are also sketches that differ from the final version, with one example being the loading screen for Dragon's Valley and Lion Cacao Cookie Run, depicting the cookie being played as inside of a cage being suspended over a coconut tribe from the last stages of Primeval Jungle. Vampire Cookie is wine. While it's said that Vampire Cookie drinks grape juice and it's even implemented in his dough, Vampire Cookie was originally described as liking to drink wine. However, it was changed to grape juice most likely due to legal censorship. Even then, wine is typically made from fermented grapes anyway. Wine would also be name dropped again in a promotional pixel art image made to celebrate Halloween in 2015. Sparkling Cookie Champagne. Similar things could be said about Sparkling Cookie. While he's based on sparkling juice, it's usually packaged similar to champagne. Both drinks are carbonated as well, since both of them can be bubbly. The signature characteristics of champagne, such as its yellow color and fizzy top, are highly noticeable in Sparkling Cookie's hair. Sparkling Cookie was also released to celebrate both Christmas and the upcoming New Year in Cookie Run OvenBreak, which is what champagne is often associated with as a tradition in the Western world. Ginger Claws and Gingerbread are not the same. While the two have a similar appearance as well as some official material in the games, you may be forgiven for thinking that Ginger Claws is simply an alternative identity to Gingerbread. However, it has been proven in the 5th anniversary event of Cookie Run OvenBreak that the two are not the same, as Strawberry Cookie and Gingerbread are upset with Gingerbread for impersonating Ginger Claws. There's more to this as well, but that's for later. Peach is General Jujube's adoptive daughter. In the relationship chart of Peach Cookie and General Jujube Cookie, General Jujube says, "You have grown up well." Also in the Bake My Day video, starring Peach Cookie and Plum Cookie, General Jujube has a picture of a baby version of Peach Cookie nearby. It's also implied that it belongs to General Jujube Cookie as his pet, Uncooling Teacup is seen nearby. Licorice Cookie's ponytail. In the Cookie Run Kingdom art book, it's revealed that the hairstyle for Licorice Cookie underneath his hood is a ponytail. This is never seen inside the actual game. Aloe Cookie is abusive. While Aloe Cookie was attempting to fix Cyborg Cookie from what happened to them, Cyborg Cookie states multiple times how they felt every moment of the operation. In their story, it's mentioned that suddenly, the feeling of icy metal plating hit the senses. The initial shock turned into disgust. Who was responsible for this monstrous transformation? Some of their quotes also reference this, like, "Every night, the pain is unbearable," and also, "I will have my revenge." While canonically it's explained that Aloe Cookie did these tests to see if Cyborg Cookie would survive these situations, it damaged Cyborg Cookie mentally. The topic is still somewhat divisive today, but Aloe and Cyborg Cookie are still good friends, with Aloe still assisting Cyborg Cookie to regain their lost memories together. Blackberry, Onion, and Adventure are family. All three of these cookies have something to do with each other. With Onion Cookie, it's confirmed that she shares a bond with Blackberry Cookie, where she not only took care of Onion Cookie, but brought her plushie back. Also, Adventure Cookie says that Onion Cookie looks familiar, and Onion Cookie says that he asked to play together before. Lastly, Adventure and Blackberry know each other, with Adventure Cookie being her employer and even saving his life sometimes. It's genuinely popular within the fandom to portray these three as a family, with Adventure Cookie being the wife of Blackberry Cookie, who had either given birth or adopted Onion Cookie, depending on the interpretation. While some of this content is pretty cute in all things considered, canonically it's an entire mess with no real answers. Perhaps leaving it as ambiguous is what makes people drawn to it. Pastry Cookie is a criticism on the Catholic Church. Looking at the information of Pastry Cookie, it can be compared to the attitude of Christian churches. For example, some of her quotes say things such as, "Atone your sins," "Oh, I missed the morning prayer," and "My soul has been stripped of petty grudges." Even one of her quotes says, "Do you have a moment to talk about the teachings?" which is most likely a reference to Christians attempting to spread their religion and converting others that they meet, though this is not exclusively a Catholic practice. Jesus Cookie. In one of the Cookie Run comics, a depiction of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ is remade, though featuring Jesus Christ instead as a cookie. Though it is unknown what particular issue this image is from at the moment due to the very poor documentation of the Cookie Run comics in English, it has been spread around in the community as a joke by the fandom. Cookie 0000. This disturbing looking thing is known as Cookie 0000. It seems to be a rough sketch of an unrecognizable cookie that was burnt towards the top. The origin of the image was in the cutscene folder of the Cheesecake Manor mystery. This was most likely going to be a placeholder for character dialogue. The most intriguing thing about this is the fact that it was given a number for a playable cookie, in this case 0000, despite not actually being a playable cookie. Evil Gingerbreads. In OvenBreak 2011, the witch baked evil gingerbreads in order to stop Gingerbread. They were also supposed to appear in the game as moving obstacles, but they were sadly cut from the game and now instead being confined to menus and such for appearances. Lucky Bag. The Lucky Bag is an S-grade pet that was exclusive to Cookie Run Cacao for Chuseok season. At this time, this is where we would also have Rebel Cookie and Kamiho Cookie available to be purchased. In Cookie Run for Cacao, it was never localized and went unreleased in Line Cookie Run. Banana Potion. This was supposed to be Banana Peel Cookie's combi pet. It resembles a bottle of milk with a drawing of a banana on it with a yellow lid. It is supposed to make a giant potion or item every 30 to 15 seconds, but when hacked into the game, it doesn't do anything sadly. It doesn't even have its own sprite sheet. Multiple Choco Drops. There happen to be multiple versions of Choco Drop that exist. In Line and Cacao Cookie Run, two variants that exist as pets are known as Gold Drop and King Choco Drop. Also in the Cookie Run OvenBreak level, Cookie Run Ruins, a giant evil version of Choco Drop can be seen in the background. Also in the description for King Choco Drop, it mentions explicitly that multiple Choco Drops do exist. Cheese Drop name changes. Through existing games in the Cookie Run series, Cheese Drop, who's Gingerbread's pet, has gone through some name changes. In Cookie Run OvenBreak, they're known as Cheese Drop. However, in Line and Cacao Cookie Run, they were known as Cheeseberry. And even farther back in OvenBreak 2, they were known as Angel's Tear. Pizza Dough Pet. In Line and Cacao Cookie Run, there happens to be an unused pet that's a sentient pizza dough with a disembodied white hand tossing them from beneath. They were labeled in the game's files as Pet 25 and also had a sprite sheet that was a tannish recolor of the pet Brain Gum. The pet is actually based on the logo of a Korean restaurant chain called Mr. Pizza. In the files of Cookie Run for Cacao, an animation file for a jelly titled Mr. Pizza can be found, as well as an unused jelly in the files titled Pizza Jelly that uses the graphics of one of Special Force Cookie's Star Candy jellies, and when collected, restored 10 energy and made the user grow giant briefly. The jelly also seemed to be somewhat bugged, as collecting several potions in succession will treat the cookie as if it ran out of energy. Additionally, a promotional treasure of a pizza slice was added at the same time when Pet 25 was added. From this, it can be assumed that Pet 25 was supposed to be given out for a cross promotion with Mr. Pizza that never came to fruition. Anti-Pets. On the Dev Sisters Twitter, they posted a picture of concept art for Anti-Pets, with these being another part of the dragon's tail being cut off and if the dust unicorn was evil. Though they were made in concept, these would never be found within the files due to them never being implemented. Brown Balloon and Coney Balloon. In Line and Cacao Cookie Run on April 18, 2014, there was an event known as the New Pets event that gave out both Brown Balloon and Coney Balloon as pets for free. Coney Balloon is a balloon in the shape of a bunny which can not only save cookies from falling down holes, but can also give a bonus of coins when the game ends. Brown Balloon is a balloon in the shape of a brown bear and also saves cookies from falling down holes while also giving them a bonus of XP when the game ends. Cookie Wars Decorations in Kingdom. A decoration set of Cookie Wars inspired nature was planned to be added in Cookie Run Kingdom at launch, but for some reason was scrapped. Perhaps some kind of Cookie Wars reference will be added in the future. Most traces of the decoration set were removed from the final release of the game, with only the shop thumbnail surviving. A game trailer also shows the decoration set available for purchase, showing that it was a very late cut in development. Copyrighted Line and Cacao Halloween costumes. In previous Halloween party events, certain cookies had special costumes that were based on other owned properties. Some examples include Werewolf Cookie having a Dr. Jekyll costume which turned into Mr. Hyde when he turned to his wolf form, Apple Cookie having a Dorothy costume from The Wizard of Oz, Gumball Cookie having a Chucky costume from Child's Play, and Pink Chocolate Cookie having a Catwoman costume. Walnut Detective events are based on Ace Attorney and Danganronpa. A developer interview for Cookie Run that was posted on Naver in 2019 cited that Danganronpa and Ace Attorney served as the inspiration for the first Cookie Detective event. Cookie Cemetery. There was concept art posted on the Dev Sisters Twitter from the early Line and Cacao era of Cookie Run. This consisted of tombstones with the faces of cookies. Some examples were Strawberry Cookie, Buttercream Chocolate Cookie, and even Princess Cookie and Night Cookie along with their pets. Hooking in OvenBreak 2. The hook function was planned to return in OvenBreak 2, with each breaker having complete hooking sprites and animations, but it was scrapped. DevSam on Twitter had stated that it was likely replaced by the double jump feature. All of the hooking sprites were removed in Cookie Run for Cacao, but in Cookie Run OvenBreak, Gingerbread and Gingerbread would mysteriously get their hooking sprites added back into their sprite sheets, with Gingerbread even having new hooking failure sprites drawn. Cookie Wars City of Wizards update. This was going to be the 10th episode of Cookie Wars, but it was scrapped because Cookie Wars proved to be a failure. It was teased at the end of episode 9, Tropical Jelly Island, where the cookies set course to go to the City of Wizards. Discontinued Localizations. Early into Line Cookie Run's lifespan, Spanish was a language option, but it was later discontinued. When Cookie Run OvenBreak launched, Spanish support returned along with new support for French, German, Portuguese, Italian, and Russian. Unfortunately, this was not meant to be, as all of these mentioned languages would soon be discontinued in January 2018 due to low demand and the faster rate of updates at that point. However, it seems that DevSisters is attempting to re-enter the European market again after having a partnership with Com2Us, who plans on promoting the game in 23 European nations, as well as hiring voice actors for the new French and German dubs for Cookie Run Kingdom. Additionally, DevSisters now has job listings for Spanish, Russian, Portuguese, and Bahasa Indonesian localization managers on their website, careers.devsisters.com, meaning that there are absolutely plans to bring back some of these old languages, with Bahasa Indonesian being a completely new one. The Witch's Transformation. Early in Cookie Run's lifespan, when the game was simply known as OvenBreak, the developers were much more comfortable with showing the witch. She is generally depicted as an elderly woman with gray hair and red skin who lives in forests. However, an interesting promotional comic from the OvenBreak 2011 era shows the witch with an alternate appearance where she is a young, light-skinned woman with blonde hair. The only known image of the comic has the text missing, which means that the context is unfortunately lost. Perhaps the witch is under a curse that makes her appear old and ugly, or does her having Gingerbread make her young and pretty? Little Ghost was for OvenBreak 2011. Little Ghosts are known previously as Ginger Ghosts in OvenBreak 2, and early versions of Line Cookie Run was actually created during development of OvenBreak 2009 or 2011. While it tragically never appeared in its game, it went on to become Ninja Cookie's associated pet, which remains consistent to this day. It's fairly interesting to think that such small things as Little Ghost has an interesting story behind it. Cookie Run x Remicone. Cookie Run had collaborated with Remicone twice, once for a general promotion and then the second time for the Halloween season. For the unfamiliar, Remicone is a company that serves a variety of ice cream and dessert treats. The first event featured ice cream of Gingerbread, buttercream Choco cookie, and snow sugar cookie with accompanying promotional material and a merchandise showcase. The second promotion was a promotional video that's on the Cookie Run YouTube channel. It showed the witch throwing ingredients into 3 cups. One had skulls, cookies, and a candy cane, another had a lightning bolt, a whole bat, and even what looked like panicked cookie souls, and the last cup had wads of flesh and brain and eyeballs and even a bone. Though these would soon sparkle and turn into delicious desserts that have Gingerbread, Devil Cookie, and Zombie Cookie cups. Cookie mascot costumes. This is referring to Cookie Run costumes that people wear to represent a cookie character. There's a solid amount of them, but some notable ones happen to be Gingerbread, Gingerbread, Strawberry Cookie, Skater Cookie, Zombie Cookie, Vampire Cookie, Angel Cookie, Custard Cookie III, and Madeline Cookie. Cookie Run Series 1 and 2 figures were too expensive to keep producing. It was once stated that the reason why the Series 1 and 2 figures of the Cookie Run Mystery Figure collection were so scarce and sold out was due to supply issues and having the cost of the figures be too much to produce, so Series 3 and 4 would be considered cheaper to produce. As of 2022, there isn't a 5th series of figures available at the moment. Buttercream Choco, Knight, Gingerbread, and Skater figures. To simply put it, there were prototype figures made for Buttercream Choco, Knight, Gingerbread, and Skater Cookie. However, they were actually never released to the public. Choco-Drop and Jellyworm figures. Originally, the Series 1 Mystery Figure Collection cookies were going to come with their pets and jellyworms. While it's a shame that each cookie's pet was never produced alongside the jellyworms, it's likely due to the fact that the pets and jellyworms are incredibly small and can possibly be swallowed by a child. Scrapped Banana Cookie figure. Banana Cookie had her own figure planned for the Cookie Run figure series, but had soon been scrapped, most likely because of how it would have been easy to break the hula hoop around her. The only thing that exists is a 3D model or early design of what we could have gotten. Scrapped Gingerbread costume. On March 26, 2019, a placeholder for a second costume that Gingerbread was going to have was added to the game. Since it didn't have a design, it was another shade of Gingerbread's color. It was likely that there was going to be an April Fool's costume for Gingerbread, but it was instead replaced with Gingerbread's 3D Bravery. Scrapped Cherry Cookie costume for 4th anniversary. Cherry Cookie was planned to have a steampunk-like costume released on the 4th anniversary of Cookie Run OvenBreak. However, this was scrapped for unknown reasons. However, the existence of the costume can be found within a video of a DevSisters office tour in 2020 in which they show the office in preparations for the anniversary. Unused ink bottle ingredient. In Cookie Run OvenBreak, there was an unused A-grade ingredient that looked like a bottle of ink with some sort of crystal cork on top. It's unknown what this would have been used for. Early Cheese Drop. Gingerbread's pet Cheese Drop had an early design that was different from the one we had in Line and Cacao Cookie Run. Instead of having a tannish color with a pink dip on top, Cheese Drop was entirely blue with red facial features and cheeks that no other drop has instead. It's unknown why it was changed, but it's quite a big change that the pet had to go through. Apple Cookie and Cookie Run OvenBreak delays. Apple Cookie was delayed not once, but twice in Cookie Run OvenBreak. She originally was going to be a part of the beginning roster alongside other cookies like Blackberry, Dinosaur, and even Special Force Cookie. Apple Cookie would then try and come back in May of 2019, but was instead replaced with the AI Run event. Apple Cookie would be teased in a fan meetup event in summer 2019 to be released in 2020, and they kept their promise as Apple Cookie made her grand return in April of 2020. Korean Apple Cookie statue. There exists a plastic statue of Apple Cookie that was on display for the public to see. However, it only had an appearance at one event and hadn't appeared since. The statue also appeared alongside a statue of Gingerbread and Strawberry Cookie. Who knows, maybe it's still in Dev Sisters' storage. They still make statues of cookies such as Shining Glitter, so perhaps they retained it after all. Encrypted game files. In Cookie Run for Cacao and Cookie Run OvenBreak, there have been encrypted text files found within the files of the game, and it doesn't seem like anyone has cracked them open yet. Not only that, but all of the Cookie Run Kingdom files are also encrypted. Due to this, people rallied for a fan kit instead. While Dev Sisters initially said no, it later happened anyway. Of course, that didn't stop people from data mining Cookie Run Kingdom in February 2022, where many members of the fandom spread sprite sheets and animation for the upcoming cookies Affogato and Caramel Arrow. Afterwards, the file encryption of the game was changed yet again. Ice Candy Trailer Goalie. In the Cookie Run YouTube video, Cookie Run OvenBreak Meet Ice Candy Cookie, we see a cookie who acts as a goalie against Ice Candy Cookie. Their outfit mainly consists of red, green, and white colors and dark purple eyes. While they're relatively nothing to write home about in the grand scheme of things, they came out in an era where NPC cookies were rare at the time, with only Hidden Hermit and Police Cookie being the other NPCs. NPC cookies did start to regularly appear in 2019-2020, and in 2021 onwards, with the release of Cookie Run Kingdom, NPCs are very common fixtures now. Grandpa B. Grandpa B is the name of a painting, aka a collection item in the original OvenBreak. Grandpa B, most likely standing for Grandpa Brave, has a picture which has Gingerbread nearly stepping on a thumbtack. It's odd because the picture doesn't depict Gingerbread with old features. This could imply that with Gingerbread's age in OvenBreak, he's actually relatively old. Though with the constantly changing continuity between games, perhaps the original OvenBreak Gingerbread is an ancestor. The current Gingerbread doesn't even have thumbs or feet anyways, and doesn't even know that Dozer exists. That's quite strange. Chef Cookie. Chef Cookie is a cookie who was made around 2018 but was dropped during the concept stage and was never added to the game, being found on an artist's portfolio who had applied to work for Dev Sisters. Based on their concept art, their skill had them throw croissant armadillos out and then later summon and ride upon a sandwich crocodile. Despite this cookie being scrapped, another cookie who had the design of a chef would soon be seen as an NPC during the Battle for Fate event update called Bacon Cookie. Land 4 organs. In Land 4 Pudding Crystal Underworld and Cookie Run OvenBreak, various obstacles have organs such as brains and hearts inside of them. Without context, which they completely lack in the first place, it's very creepy. Are they the organs of other creatures? Are they their actual functioning organs? It's a bit messed up when you think about it. Cookie anatomy. Despite Cookie Run's social media accounts confirming that cookies don't have bones, this is actually false if you decide to look at the trailer for Line and Cacao Cookie Run. There's a scene where Cream Cookie gets electrocuted. This reveals that a cookie like her can have bones, ribs, and even a skull inside of them. This would then be later contradicted heavily with the Crispy Dough Sturdy Bones update in Cookie Run OvenBreak, where the whole event is about health and prominently features x-rays and bones. Cream Unicorn Cookie is a child predator. There are some implications that could lead to this irrational theory being not too far-fetched. Nearly all of his relations on his relationship chart in Cookie Run OvenBreak have to do with children. The only one that isn't, being Muscle Cookie, still has to do with him achieving his childhood dreams. Also, consider that things like merry-go-rounds and Ferris wheels are exciting things that could attract small kids. If that isn't enough, then also consider the original concept of Cream Unicorn Cookie had him more mature and lonely. This theory is very unpopular with people for reasons that should be obvious. This is just really sad and disgusting. Esterhazy and Schwarzwälder are the same character. Both of these characters have many similarities that could consider them the same character. Esterhazy is a follower of Dark Enchantress Cookie, while Schwarzwälder is a servant to Licorice Cookie who works under Dark Enchantress Cookie too. Their visual aspects are very similar as well. Bev, Cold, and Faye. These are referring to the Cookie Run comics again, and it refers to human versions of Gingerbread, Gingerbright, and Fairy Cookie respectively. The three cookies often engage in various real-world locations and travel to other places. Beach Volleyball. A screenshot of a Cookie Run notification had said, "Hey, how about a beach volleyball game with Lime Cookie?" Volleyball being spelled here is actually a Spanish way of saying volleyball. The CIA. The Cookie Intelligence Agency is the company that employs Special Force Cookie as per her story description. This is a reference to the Central Intelligence Agency, aka the CIA, in the United States of America. If this is to be a parody, it would probably not be a great one considering how numerous human rights violations that the real-life CIA has done to people. ML Cookie. ML Cookie is actually an early name for Ion Cookie Robot, which was seen in a presentation before the AI Run update in Cookie Run OvenBreak, when only an outline of the upcoming cookie was shown after the presentation. The name was assumed from the initials for machine learning, which is ML. Strawberry Milk Cookie. Strawberry Milk Cookie is an exclusive cookie that originates from Cookie Run Munjo Munjo. The design is very similar to Strawberry Cookie, but they have pink stripes spiraling down them and also have pink water droplets on their forehead. Red Devil Cookie. Red Devil Cookie is another exclusive cookie in Cookie Run Munjo Munjo. While looking similar to Devil Cookie, they have a red and blue yin-yang on their left cheek and 3 diagonal black lines on their right cheek. This variation of Devil Cookie is based on the Red Devils, which is a national support group for South Korea's own national soccer team. Blatzo. Blatzo is a character in OvenBreak who is an evil gingerbread with a tattoo on his arm. He is the only named evil gingerbread thus far, being named in OvenBreak 2 as one of the fake Facebook friends. They also appear in the collection image Macho Roast. Yoki Doki. Yoki Doki is a minor character that appears in OvenBreak. They have a small appearance and it's not a good one. They are seen in a collection image called Heartbreak, where they are seen to be eaten in half next to a version of Gingerbread without the small skulls on his chest, who was crushed and crumbled. What was with this cookie's life before their death? How did they die? It's really something to think about. Astro Mice. These creatures are a race of gray mice that appear in OvenBreak who reside on the Cheese Moon. They not only appear as obstacles in OvenBreak's universe mode, but they also appear in some of the collection images. Thai trading cards. There exists a set of Cookie Run trading cards that are sold exclusively in Thailand by a company Biga. They come in different packages and also have cookies on the cards that have their rankings, energy, and more. Several series were released from 2014 to 2016 with the cards featuring cookies from Line and Cacao Cookie Run up until the launch version of Cookie Run OvenBreak. They're a fun novelty, especially the first series, which contains some otherwise exclusive art of cookies. Strawberry Cookie's mouth. Strawberry Cookie is usually seen without her mouth shown. However, on one of the cards from the Thailand trading cards we mentioned, there's a card where you can actually see Strawberry Cookie's mouth that was released in the aforementioned first series of cards. Her mouth is a shade of raspberry red. Wizard Cookie's mouth. Much like Strawberry Cookie, we practically never see Wizard Cookie's mouth. However, on the 2016 Cookie Run calendar, we can actually see Wizard Cookie's mouth revealed when you flip the month to December. From this, it can be revealed that Wizard Cookie's mouth color is a shade of brown similar to his dough outline. Devil Cheerleader Costume. A special costume for Cheerleader Cookie was created to celebrate South Korea in the FIFA World Cup in Cookie Run for Cacao, where she and her squad dressed in red and had devil horns. This is most likely a reference to the Red Devils, which is a support group for South Korea's national soccer team. Red Devil Cookie in Cookie Run Munjo Munjo was also a reference to this as well. Cheerleader Cookie's megaphone. There was a set of unused sprites for Cheerleader Cookie of her pulling out a megaphone and shouting the word girls. There was even an advertisement which used these sprites. She would shout through her megaphone and a pack of other cheerleaders ran by her side. It's unknown why these sprites were created and then unused. An ad for the game created in 2019 or 2020 features Cheerleader Cookie using her megaphone. Mish Lizard and Line and Cacao. In Get That Mish, one of the areas that you could get Mish was the Amazon, where a small orange lizard can be seen climbing on a branch over a swamp. This same lizard would later appear in Cookie Run for Cacao, where the same lizard can be seen in the lobby of Primeval Jungle in the top left corner. This makes this random lizard the third character from Get That Mish to appear in a Cookie Run game. Matcha and Kingdom. There was a piece of untranslated text that was accidentally shown which said something along the lines of Matcha Cookie having a release in November of 2021. This made people think that Matcha was coming to Kingdom. However, we're currently in 2022 and there's no signs of Matcha coming to Cookie Run Kingdom yet. That doesn't mean it's impossible, however. Get That Mish references in Cookie Run. Cookie Run has a variety of references in regard to another game Dev Sisters made 10 years ago known as Get That Mish, or early on as Fishing for Mish. The game served as a pet collector game of sorts where you can collect Mish and decorate a tank filled with them. Some examples of references include Snowwell appearing in OvenBreak 2, who appeared as a friend in OvenBreak 2's friend system. There's the Narwhals in both Line and Cacao Cookie Run and Cookie Run OvenBreak who were presented as obstacles, the potential coincidences like the friend icons in both Get That Mish and Cookie Run being similar, and even characters looking similar such as Tiger Lily Cookie being similar to Piku, the Misher of the Amazon, and Gumball Cookie in his water bazooka costume looking similar to Pagel, the Misher of California. Maple Story Mushroom in Cookie Run OvenBreak. In Cookie Run OvenBreak during the Spelunking Expeditions event, the game's files had an image of an orange mushroom from the Maple Story games, which is nothing short of being incredibly odd. The image was later removed from the files. Stock Banana Peel in Cookie Run OvenBreak. In Cookie Run OvenBreak, there exists a stock image of a realistic banana peel in the files of the game in the image multiplayeimage.png. This could be a placeholder picture of sorts. Unused Red Cheerleader Cookie Sprites. Despite Red Cheerleader Cookie only being used as an NPC in a boss fight in the Island of Memories for Cheerleader Cookie, she had many unused sprites within the game's files, including sprites for sliding, double jumping, and colliding with an obstacle and then running out of energy. It was possible that she was meant to be a playable character in some form as well. Cookie Fingers. There are some instances of cookies having actual human-like fingers. One example lies within the Cookie Run comics where Rockstar Cookie is strumming his guitar but with actual human-like hands instead of the usual cookie nubs. The witch's name is Matilda. In OvenBreak 2, the game links the player to Facebook in order to have a competing score leaderboard. However, if the player didn't have any friends, then fake friends would be provided to compete against. Interestingly enough, one of the friends would be the witch herself and would go under the name of Matilda. This is the only time in the franchise that the witch has ever been given a proper name instead of a nameless title. The witch was a royal servant. This is mentioned in Princess Locket's story. According to the story of the pet, it says the Cookie Royal Dynasty has passed down this precious crown jewel for generations. Rumor has it is that it was made by the witch long ago when she worked for the royal family. Though it does say it's a rumor, it can imply that the witch had some sort of connection with the royal family somewhere. Pitaya Dragon Cookie and the Red Dragon from Line and Cacao Cookie Run aren't the same. In recent years, with the introduction of Pitaya Dragon Cookie in 2019, the game quickly established that Pitaya Dragon Cookie and the Red Dragon are apparently the same. At first, this sounds plausible until you dig deeper. One thing of note is that the Red Dragon is considered male, whereas Pitaya is non-binary. And if you're wondering, no, the he slip-up in Kingdom doesn't count because that was later fixed. While it's possible that the Red Dragon could have changed his gender identity, it's unfortunately a trend for dev sisters to retcon gender-neutral or non-binary characters into ones that are male or female instead of vice versa. Another nail in the coffin is that the design for the Red Dragon is completely different, even if the Red Dragon himself was redesigned once in the Line and Cacao days. Obviously, the new dragon is much more based on the Pitaya fruit instead of being dragon flesh. Additionally, Pitaya Dragon Cookie has often been referred to as a greenish red dragon instead of the Red Dragon. It's also entirely possible that the two are just different characters and each of the Red Dragons are just different characters altogether. Dragon's Valley is becoming less geologically active. During the story revolving around Milk Cookie, Purple Yam Cookie, Dinosaur Cookie, and Malasauce Cookie, when the first three met Malasauce Cookie, she noted how the Dragon's Valley, where her tribe thrived, was feeling colder near the ground and her tribe was starting to get bland. Bear in mind that the whole tribe was strengthened by the generations of exposure from the blazing heat. Fake players in early lands. It may not be obvious to some, but when the game fails to find any new players to go up against in early lands, the game will create fake ones to compete against. As these AIs are incredibly old and haven't been updated, they receive laughably low scores due to the game's power creep. A slide share by Dev Sisters detailing this has been found online. Batman Gingerbread vs. Bane Evil Gingerbread. There's a picture of Gingerbread and one of the evil Gingerbreads from OvenBreak fighting each other. However, Gingerbread is dressed as Batman and the evil Gingerbread is dressed up as Bane, who are two characters from the DC universe. Interestingly enough, this image was found under the label of Collection Item, Images and Arts for Facebook ad. Though as of now, the image hasn't been found in any of the archived snapshots of the OvenBreak Facebook page, nor was it ever even used in-game as a collection image, only adding further mystique to the image. Dozer is not canon anymore. When you read the story of Gingerbread, it states that Gingerbread was the first cookie to escape the witch's oven. However, this description is in the later Cookie Run games, and not the original OvenBreak. Story-wise, there's actually a cookie who managed to escape the oven even before Gingerbread. That cookie was Dozer. While unsuccessful, Gingerbread was the second cookie to officially escape the oven. However, it seems that Gingerbread would be known as the first cookie to escape the oven, leaving Dozer's moment in the spotlight to fade. It would even be retconned further in recent updates in games such as Cookie Run Kingdom and the Season 6 update of Cookie Run OvenBreak, where it's consistently shown that Strawberry Cookie was baked even before Gingerbread and left on her own accords as well. However, the most important point to all this is that in every game after the original OvenBreak, Dozer does not appear, and Gingerbread doesn't even seem to be aware of the existence of Dozer at all. Perhaps one day we'll get proper closure on Dozer. However, by the time that I'm actually recording this audio for the script, Dozer actually came back when the game Cookie Run Witch's Castle was revealed. While we don't know much about the game yet, or we don't even know much about Dozer returning, it's actually awesome that we get to see Dozer once again after so many years. Why Cookie Wars failed. Cookie Wars would soon close up shop on May 15th, 2020. Why would they want to shut down the game? Well, after the Raid Mode update, Cookie Wars hadn't really gotten many major updates after that. The game suffered from having genuinely unengaging gameplay, with free-to-play players earning less and less free rewards over time, with the prices of packages being way too high to justify their cost, making the revenue and profitability of the game go down the drain. The game was also launched at a somewhat poor time for the Cookie Run franchise, as the game was struggling to maintain the once runaway success audience it once had during the Line and Cacao era. Also, there's the fact that Aurum Labs had been terminated due to their poor performance and even bankruptcy. Ginger Claus is Gingerbread's cousin. Not only are Gingerbread and Gingerclaws not the same, but they're actually cousins. In OvenBreak 2 and Gingerclaws' Did You Know fact, it says, "I'm Gingerbread's cousin from the North Pole. Ho ho ho. My most precious gift is doubling all earned XP." This makes Gingerclaws, Dozer, and Gingerbread all a part of the same family, which is currently one of the largest families aside from Princess and Custard, and explains why the two are uncannily familiar. White Lily Cookie and Rogue Fort's skill before Kingdom was released. During Rogue Fort Cookie's skill in Cookie Run OvenBreak, you'll see many paintings in the background during the museum portion of their skill. However, there's one painting in the background that has a very similar look to White Lily Cookie in Cookie Run Kingdom. Yes, Rogue Fort Cookie was released before Cookie Run Kingdom. In fact, this was before Cookie Run Kingdom had even revealed any new characters at this point, with the only trailer of the game having a statue of what would later be Pure Vanilla Cookie and a scrapped hooded NPC. Joro and Gut Instinct. Joro are a species of Mish that first appeared in another Dev Sisters game, Get That Mish, which appears in the mode Gut Instinct. These Mish were found within the witch's stomach, dying in the foreground and at the bottom of the screen. There's even a collection image of Gingerbread about to eat one while still inside the witch's stomach. Sandwich Cookie's favoritism. If you were playing Cookie Run OvenBreak from Sandwich Cookie's introduction until Season 6, it would not be hard to notice how often Sandwich Cookie appeared in stories. She appeared in her debut in Happy Healthy Hamlet, in the Spooky Spider Mansion story, Operation Time Guard, Fantabulous Pudding Circus, and the Battle for Fate, as well as having a minor role in the main story Gingerbread's Tale during Chapter 3. Afterwards, Sandwich Cookie hasn't been touched, but some people found her frequent usage quite odd. Skating Queen Cookie is based on a real person. Skating Queen Cookie is themed after a South Korean figure skater known as Yoona Kim, who's a multi-champion at figure skating. This seems to be the case when you look at Skating Queen Cookie's outfit, which bears a resemblance to Yoona Kim's 2009 to 2010 Season 3 skating outfit. Apple Cookie kills herself. In Cookie Wars, Apple Cookie's original animation for losing had her head down while the balloon still carried her. This had the unfortunate resemblance of someone who had just hung themselves in order to end their own life. The final animation, which is the most recent version, has Apple Cookie still being carried by the balloons but with her head up and also having a tear in her eye. This is considerably more tasteful than the other animation, which may be perceived as upsetting by some even if unintentional. Gingerbread original personality. In OvenBreak 2, Gingerbread's personality was different. This is proven with her Did You Know pop-up. She says, "I'm half gingerbread, half brains. Running is one way out of a problem, but I can think of a gazillion other solutions. For example, I run 10% slower than most breakers. I mean, what's the hurry, right?" Gingerbread was most likely named not because of her bright and cheery attitude, but because of her bright ideas. This would also carry into the early line versions of the game, which had its OvenBreak 2 translation work generally copied. Hidden Hermit is Gingerbread. There's a card that's a part of the exclusive Thailand trading cards that has a picture of Gingerbread. However, Gingerbread in this card is the exact same pose as Hidden Hermit was, having their hand over their head and also having their left leg bent forward. Buttercream Choco Cookie Plush Clip. The Buttercream Choco Cookie Keychain plushie is a piece of Cookie Run merch that's very rare. It's so rare that for some time it was believed that there was only one known image for it. In January 2022, an owner of the elusive plush, who is known as A Static Mess on Reddit, came forward to reveal that they owned it, and as well as previously unknown plushies of Strawberry and Ninja Cookie as well. The tags are dated in 2015 and no manufacturer info is specified. Mish Lizard in Puzzle World. The lizard from Get That Mish did not stop appearing in Cookie Run games after Cookie Run for Cacao. They can also be seen in the world map of Dinosaur Cookies levels in Cookie Run Puzzle World, where they can be seen climbing up a tree. Earthbread is Earth. Earthbread refers to the whole planet in which the cookies live, which can be considered similar to Earth. Cookie Run Kingdom's set of lands are like certain continents that exist within the planet, much like how we do within our own planet as well. Perhaps Earthbread is also a completely fabricated part of the world, but none of this is confirmed and we're just going to have to take it at its face value. Axeman. Axeman, also known as Grim Reaper, is a character in OvenBreak who chases Gingerbread in the Broken Hearts level. It is a metal humanoid figurine that patrols the witch's heart, carrying an axe with a sinister smile carved into it. Axeman will end Gingerbread's run in one hit, so you need to make sure not to slow down so you can continue to run. While Axeman never emotes or speaks in any way, it's implied that it's completely sentient. Stalking Blackberry Cookie. Blackberry Cookie had a beta design which was different from her current design. Her hair reached down to her feet, she wore a black crown, and also had a more goth look to her in general. Her look actually looked similar to a character known as Stocking from the anime Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. Orange Hat Pirates. These pirates are known as the Tangerine Freebooters. Barely much is known about them. One example of their existence is on the Dev Sisters Twitter when they talked about them with art provided. This was when Pirate Cookie took over of their Twitter. However, there was another picture in the Cookie Run Kingdom art book with Stink Eye Tortuga, who is the main antagonist of the Tropical Soda Island story, with an orange hat as well. Nipples. Surprised to see this one on here? Well, there's actually some examples of forms of nipples in Cookie Run, with the first being the character Yoki Doki from OvenBreak 2011 having nipples clearly exposed, and the second being a random jelly walker in the animated trailer for Cookie Wars that had a pair of yellow bean jellies acting as nipples. It seemed that these are the exception, as all the other cookies with bare torsos do not have any detail on their chest at all, with the exception of cookies like Muscle Cookie's pecs and abs being made of frosting, and Lobster Cookie's pectoral muscles. Yogurka Breakout Expansion. The Yogurka Breakout Expansion was something mentioned in one of the Cookie Run fan meetups in 2019. However, it never happened. It's unlikely to happen in the future as well, since Yogurka is now preserved for story mode. Dessert Paradise was a rushed ending to Line and Cacao Cookie Run. It had been shown that there were plans to at least continue updating Cookie Run for Cacao until at least 2017, but these never came to fruition as Cookie Run OvenBreak had essentially replaced the game. The last major update in Cookie Run for Cacao was giving all of the remaining cookies released from late 2015 to 2016 Halloween costumes, and then the game would just be dropped from development afterwards with no prior build-up or announcement. People also note the number of cookie and pet treasures that were never given evolved forms, and that Pancake, Wind Archer, and Moon Rabbit were the only cookies ever released for New World Discovered, aka Season 9 of Cookie Run for Line and Cacao Cookie Run. Line Cookie Run's English translation was bad. The original translation for Line Cookie Run was much more loose and inaccurate to the original text. One of the most notable oddities about the early Line localization was the decision to give Angel Cookie and Zombie Cookie binary genders, being female and male respectively in the early Line translations, which has since been undone in recent years. OvenBreak 2 stage names. In the theme data files for OvenBreak 2, each of the 6 stages are named internally, but these names are never displayed anywhere. Respectively, the stage names are Witch's Forest, Underground, Sea Daylight, Sea Moonlight, Iceland, and Cookie Land. Get That Mish text in OvenBreak 2. For some reason, all of the text strings from Get That Mish are in OvenBreak 2, being unused in the game's files. There's not much else to say here, except that it's odd and only further fuels all of the strange connections between Cookie Run and Get That Mish. OvenBreak 2 was a test for Cookie Run for Cacao. OvenBreak 2 was released internationally on December 13, 2012, and Cookie Run for Cacao was released on April 2, 2013. That means OvenBreak 2 had only a span of around 4 months before the new Cookie Run game was released. Cookie Run for Cacao was, at launch, essentially a better version of OvenBreak 2 with only Ginger Claws missing at launch, though he would later be added for that year's Christmas season. Additionally, many files, especially in early versions of the game, are directly referencing OvenBreak 2 or its codename OvenBreak X. It seems as if OvenBreak 2 was made as a test of sorts for the format of a social media-based Cookie Run game, which used Facebook as a basis instead of Kakao Talk, or Line, or Tencent QQ later on. Cookie Run Kingdom's App Checker. The Android version of Cookie Run Kingdom has an anti-cheat method that prevents you from playing the game. When the game is launched, the game checks your phone for all apps installed. If it detects a blacklisted app, then the game will intentionally crash itself. Some examples of apps are a majority of auto-clickers, debug stuff, and more. This has proved to be an annoyance by many players who have the app simply installed on their device and have no intent to use them to cheat. Some people dislike it intensely as a bad faith barrier between dev sisters and the player base, where Cookie Run Kingdom just asks the user to delete the app from their device. Dev Sisters hates Skater Cookie. Out of all the common cookies in Cookie Run OvenBreak, it's not hard to see that Skater Cookie is the least favored by the developers in the Cookie Run franchise. Skater Cookie is generally included in group art of the rest of the common cookies in Cookie Run OvenBreak, whose art is paired with Zombie Cookie, who's a rare cookie for some unexplained reason. While this was the case in many pieces of work, Skater Cookie's prominence in promotional material and such would soon fade. When the 4th anniversary event of Cookie Run OvenBreak was released, a new story to accompany Trophy Race was released featuring the common cookies plus Zombie Cookie embarking on an adventure across each Trophy Race land. Now, when Season 6 of Cookie Run OvenBreak came around, Dev Sisters decided to make a whole new retelling of the story of Gingerbread and his friends escaping from the witches and trying to find a paradise for cookies. However, Dev Sisters decided to drop all mentions of Skater Cookie from the new story, with Alchemist Cookie taking his place. This directly retcons the Battle for Fate ending, where Starfruit Cookie sees a prophecy of every common cookie, including Skater Cookie, stopping Dark Enchantress Cookie. In the 5th anniversary event, which is essentially a clip show of Gingerbread's group reminiscing on the past 3 years of adventures, any stories that featured Skater Cookie intentionally cut off any parts where Skater Cookie had any role. Skater Cookie had also been notably absent from all spin-off games, only appearing in the Korean exclusive Munjo Munjo. Skater was also planned to appear in Cookie Wars, but was later cut. It's a shame to see that Skater Cookie is being largely sidelined by Dev Sisters, but at the same token, he doesn't have it as bad as Cloud Cookie. Poor Cloud Cookie was left out of Cookie Run OvenBreak and only appeared again in Cookie Wars and afterwards just vanished. I guess you could say that every cloud has a silver lining. Dev Sisters removes old IPAs of Cookie Run OvenBreak. Dev Sisters removed the old IPAs or iOS app files of Cookie Run OvenBreak sometime in 2021. Currently, only the last 4 or 5 few versions of Cookie Run OvenBreak on Apple's server will be remaining, and when the game updates over and over again, those versions will go missing sadly. If you have an old iOS device with an old version of Cookie Run OvenBreak installed that hasn't been updated or touched in a while, it would be a good idea to try and rip the IPA or bundle file of the app and share it online, as most versions of the game are currently missing sadly. Cookie Run debug menu web pages. There's an apparent debug menu for Cookie Run OvenBreak that was never available to the public until an update on September 27, 2020, which was buggy. This would give you usage to some of the available buttons, but there were some that would open web page links on your device. These ones in particular are Macaroon CM, Macaroon, and Kibana. Both Macaroon links do not work, likely due to them having a particular configuration that prevent normal users from accessing them. But Kibana has a login page to a website known as DevSisters SSO, which is obviously meant for development purposes only. The only other options generally make some UI elements visible or invisible, which are actually used in some official YouTube videos for the game, especially new cookie showcases. Aurum Labs closure. Aurum Labs was one of the developers of Cookie Wars and had eventually shut down production as they would soon reach bankruptcy. The company as a whole is very mysterious and seems to have formed as a subsidiary of Dev Sisters to develop Cookie Wars. OvenBreak 2009 for Android. The very early version of the first OvenBreak game, more commonly known as OvenBreak Infinity, was once ported to Android by Con2us in 2011. It is currently lost media as no builds of the game has ever been found and uploaded online, with the only Android version of OvenBreak Online being 1.0.5, a version based on the 2011 update of the game released in 2012. A promotional video of the game was uploaded to Con2us' YouTube channel. OvenBreak Up. OvenBreak Up was a version of OvenBreak 2011 for Android. Only a handful of promotional images for this exist. What it comes down to is a version with renewed graphics from the iOS 2.0 version in South Korea. This version of the game is also currently lost media. Angel Cookie in OvenBreak 2011. In OvenBreak 2011, if Gingerbread fails a stage, the Try Again button has a cookie that suspiciously resembles Angel Cookie. Is this character the same as Angel Cookie? An ancestor? We don't know for sure, but it's fun to speculate. Dark Enchantress Cookie and White Lily Cookie's ingredients don't match up. While it's confirmed that Dark Enchantress Cookie and White Lily Cookie are the same, something strange to note are their ingredients. According to the story of Dark Enchantress and Cookie Run OvenBreak, it says that she was made up with a dose of concentrated dark magic and poisonous scarlet pomegranate syrup. However, when White Lily Cookie was created, it simply says, according to her description in Kingdom, like a pale lily touched by the softest drops of rain, a cookie silently enters the world. Even if there is White Lily flowers within her dough, that didn't seem to carry over to Dark Enchantress. Unless the ultimate dough had the features like dark magic and pomegranate juice within it, it doesn't seem very likely. Banana Peel Cookie skill involves sliding. An image of text saying, Best Slide, Banana Flavored Cookie, was added to the Gold Candy event image in Cookie Run for Cacao in late April 2013, hinting that Banana Peel Cookie would have had a skill involving sliding. However, this ability is untrue, as playing as Banana Peel Cookie instead gives Banana Peel Cookie a small chance to destroy obstacles. Coffee Cookie Starbucks Cup. As shown on the Cookie Run for Cacao Season 1 loading screen, Coffee Cookie used to have a coffee cup that had a green circle with a thinner outline circle on the outside. However, this coffee cup had a striking resemblance to the Starbucks logo and was soon replaced with a yellow line instead to avoid potential issues with the franchise. Pinata Cookie will be added to Cookie Run OvenBreak. In the video known as Cookie Run Puzzle World, Everything is New in Season 2, Suman, a game designer at Jelly Pop Games, had said that Season 2 of Cookie Run Puzzle World announced Pinata Cookie in the game. Big Mac mentions that Pinata Cookie was only an NPC in Cookie Run OvenBreak, which then Hiemi, a level designer for Cookie Run Puzzle World, responds by saying, I bet she'll appear in Cookie Run 2 eventually. Big Mac even says, right? I sure hope so. This implies that Pinata Cookie is considered to be released in the future, though it has been over a year and Pinata Cookie is currently not with us at the moment, but let's hope that this can change in the future. Dino Sour Cookie was going to have a grown-up Jellysaur in Cookie Run OvenBreak. Dino Sour Cookie had a confirmed design in line in Cacao Cookie Run and had a major difference. He was going to have a larger sized Jellysaur who was more of a yellowish green color, yellow eyes, and Dino Sour was even going to have shoes. The associated .p list, or the Sprite Sheet Atlas file, defines this early version of Dino Sour Cookie as Cookie 0102, indicating that Dino Sour Cookie was originally planned to be a Cookie Run OvenBreak exclusive launch cookie, planning to be released alongside Popcorn, Pilot, Dark Choco, Yoga, and Space Donut. The game's files at launch also had Dino Sour Cookie's Dino Foot jellies labeled as Cookie 0102, as well as his pet Dino Egg being labeled as Pet 0102 internally. Even after Dino Sour Cookie officially returned to Cookie Run OvenBreak in May of 2019, the early jelly file names were kept, while Dino Sour just used his line and cacao number, Cookie 0064. It's unknown why Dino Sour was initially outed of Cookie Run OvenBreak and was pushed to become a line and cacao cookie instead, but it's an interesting piece of Cookie Run trivia. Mustard Cookie's parents. We never meet them, but one of them should be Dr. Wasabi's son or daughter, and Mustard Cookie's mother or father. Whoever is which, let's hope someday that we'll be able to see them again. Wish we could go further, but we can't. It's just a strange gap of these two characters that the developers of the game just left to scratch our heads, I suppose. Santa Claus is canon. Santa Claus is mentioned in OvenBreak 2009 in the cutscene for the Universe stage, indicating that Santa Claus does indeed exist in the Cookie Run universe. Or at least the OvenBreak 2009 timeline. Hat of Santa in OvenBreak 2, and by extension Line Cookie Run, is also stated to have been worn by Santa himself, though the pet would be renamed to Merry Hat and given a new backstory in Cookie Run OvenBreak nearly 9 years later in an update featuring Eggnog Cookie. Pregnant Cookie. One of the stories in the many Cookie Run science comics about gene editing and cloning of real-life organisms. In this story, Dino Sour Cookie visits Alchemist Cookie and Lemon Cookie at their lab to learn about how artificial wombs and gene editing works, such as removing undesirable traits or giving ones that benefit an organism, with Dino Sour Cookie later going home and trying it out on one of his fossils. Honestly, this story would be completely unremarkable if it wasn't for the inclusion of an illustration of Lemon Cookie and Alchemist Cookie explaining how pregnancy works, featuring a generic cookie resembling Gingerbread with her hair down with a cookie fetus inside of her womb, with with an accompanying illustration of sperm cells surrounding an egg cell for conception. This would later spread around without context in the Cookie Run fandom, especially in 2021 for its surreal nature. Hitler Cookie. In Volume 17 of the Cookie Run comics, there's a comic that features some cookie who leads an army. But that's not the interesting part, though. What's interesting is that in the background of a panel of this army-leading cookie, there's a portrait of a cookie version of Adolf Hitler himself. You know, World War II Adolf Hitler? Hair, mustache, outfit, and all that. Micmac, however, stated an apology for the images and requested the creators of the comics to have this image removed in future prints. Raccoony, just without the RA. There was a joke amongst the cookie modes where Choco Ring Lion Cookie and Buttershell Fox Cookie will call Maple Panda Cookie Raccoony but without the RA because of the fact that his design looks similar to a raccoon. This was originally found within the storyline based around the cookie modes but had to immediately be changed because of the phrase's racist connotations. The phrase would soon be changed to Raccoony. Misha. Misha is one of the 12 fake Facebook friends in OvenBreak 2. She appears to be a woman with white skin, sunglasses, a jacket, and headphones holding a coffee cup. Misha is unique compared to the other OvenBreak 2 friends because her origin currently cannot be traced at all. We have no idea where she originated from, unlike the other fake friends who are from concept art, old OvenBreak art, or from other Dev Sisters games. However, it is possible that she may have been drawn by an artist for Get That Mish, as the two do have vaguely similar designs, but that still doesn't close the case on this mystery girl. Cookie Run Political Newspaper Cartoon. In June 2014, a boy in Thailand made a phone bill of 203,477.06 baht, or roughly $6,061 of in-app purchases for Line Cookie Run. The bill was thankfully paid by the phone company, but for some time, in-app purchases and apps were blocked after the incident. Two Thai cartoonists would take it into their hands to satirize the situation by making the story into political cartoons. The first cartoon, roughly translated as Dangerous Cookie Run, features Gingerbread, Gingerbright, and Angel Cookie all beating two boys playing on their smartphones, with Gingerbread holding a phone bill in his other hand. Two mice at the bottom left corner comment roughly that children are stupid. The second cartoon titled Cookie Bill is much simpler, with a giant rotund Gingerbread grabbing a boy holding a smartphone, presumably playing Cookie Run, though given that the phone is in portrait mode and not landscape says otherwise, and showing him their exuberantly high phone bill, shocking the boy. In hindsight, it's still so bizarre to see that Cookie Run was once a subject to be politicized as far back as 2014. Music and Sound.fsbs. .fsbs are a sound format used to store the audio for Cookie Run for Cacao and Cookie Run OvenBreak, specifically streamed sounds like cookie sounds. They're generally difficult to reverse engineer and obtain individual sound effects from. Not much else to say here, sadly. Official remixes of Nintendo music using the Cookie Run sound font. In a developer conference, a medley of various songs were played with a Cookie Run sound font. Some of the examples include the Kirby Superstar Ultra Victory theme, the Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass title screen, and the Pokemon Black and White theme. Themes for Crazy Arcade and Crazy Racing Kart Rider are also remixed, though these games are generally seen as obscure outside of their home country of South Korea. Whipping Workers tweet. This is an old tweet by the Dev Sisters Twitter account from March 2009 reading, "Are whipping our engineers to do work and stop whining. Sexy and sassy is our style." It was sometimes retweeted and liked by the Cookie Run community as an occasional joke, which is similar to their tweet of "I like cheese" but on a lesser scale. The tweet was later deleted in November of 2021 amidst the hashtag #StopCookieRunNFTs controversy, alongside a number of other tweets such as concept art for Cloud Cookie and an animation of the evil gingerbreads for unexplained reasons. Sexy cat costume tweet. A developer at Dev Sisters who's known on Twitter as DevSam actually once made a tweet saying, "Hey Dev Sisters, don't forget that one time where Gingerbread donned a sexy cat costume for Halloween." However, the wording of sexy might have not been a good term to use when considering that Gingerbread is confirmed to be the age of 10 at the time of that tweet, which is very much under the age of consent. Sam would then bring up this tweet in the future and says, "I posted this image with a wording that made many of you feel uncomfortable. Trying to debate the whys and hows I thought this was okay seems like missing the point, so I just want to say I'm sorry. I still think the image itself is cute and funny, so I'm reposting without the comments." The Ocean, Sorbet Shark's Dream English version. There's a song that was released on the Cookie Run YouTube channel called The Ocean, Sorbet Shark's Dream, which was a song with Korean vocals. However, after releasing an instrumental version, the channel pinned a comment saying, "Smash that like button if you want an English version," implying they would make a version of the song with English vocals. However, that never ended up happening. iRodeo, Alice's Adventures, Rabbit Hole of Death, Get That Mish, and Cookie Run have a shared universe. In addition to the numerous references to Get That Mish that are sprinkled throughout the Cookie Run franchise, two of Dev Sisters' other early games, iRodeo and Alice's Adventures, Rabbit Hole of Death, have references, albeit only one each in similar context. Roberto, the main protagonist of iRodeo, served as a fake Facebook friend in OvenBreak 2. Interestingly, this is the only time that Roberto is named, as in his own game, he wasn't even given a name. Similarly to Roberto, Alice from, well, Alice's Adventures, Rabbit Hole of Death is also a fake Facebook friend. With all four of these games in mind, perhaps someone can probably do the mental gymnastics to find ways of connecting all four of these games into a single Dev Sisters cinematic universe. Realm of Fairy Tales. The Realm of Fairy Tales was the setting in OvenBreak 2009. This was referenced in the intro of OvenBreak 2009 in Infinity's Universe mode that was a parody of the Star Wars intro of scrolling semi-flat text where the witch had taken over. It might have been interesting to see how the Cookie Run franchise would be today if it took the Shrek direction of things and made the world based around the saturation of well-known fairy tales, but at the same time, it's reasonable to see why the focus would be shifted. Primeval Jungle Kingdom retconning. Some things in Kingdom retcon previously established things in the Cookie Run lore, such as the Hollyberry Kingdom and Dark Cacao Kingdom suddenly being active again. However, Primeval Jungle suffered the most from Kingdom's retcons. While there is a jungle area in Kingdom, it has no luxury to be called Primeval Jungle anymore, and places such as the Ancient Forest Altar are no longer mentioned. Dev Sisters misogynistic word filtering. This refers to an accusatory screenshotted thread on Twitter where Dev Sisters had a misogynistic rhetoric. One part of the thread stating that the reason why the company is called Dev Sisters is because the tone of sister is more fresh. Also in Cookie Run Kingdom, the word lesbian is recognized as slang, however the word gay can be used without a problem. I'm just pointing out what I'm reading here. Little Ghost is Dozer. Has anyone noticed that the face shape that Dozer and Little Ghost has looks nearly identical? It may seem like a ridiculous detail, but there's something that makes this even creepier. Think about the story of Little Ghost. In Cookie Run OvenBreak, it says that Little Ghost has lived in the witch's kitchen for so long that it no longer remembers what it once was. Poor, poor Little Ghost. It gets even creepier when you read Little Ghost's story in Line Cookie Run, where all it says is, "Poor thing, it could only escape the witch as a ghost." If it is true that Dozer died trying to escape the oven, then it makes some sense that Little Ghost is the soul of Dozer. Zombie Cookie is Dozer. It may sound odd considering that Dozer and Zombie Cookie were made out of different materials, but think about it like this. If Dozer did indeed die after his prologue level in OvenBreak, who's to say he wasn't 100% eaten? Maybe some of his features actually fell into another batch of dough. Besides, it's confirmed that Zombie Cookie was made sloppily. Other than grasping onto life, the only thing that Dozer held onto was his green candy cane. Maybe that could help turn the dough green, resulting in the color. The only thing he could use as a replacement for his candy cane was a long bone. It's also interesting to note that Zombie Cookie was one of the first cookies to stick with Gingerbread from the very beginning. Dozer and Gingerbread are unrelated. It's possible that Gingerbread and Dozer aren't even related at all for a few reasons. Firstly, let's take a look at Gingerbread and Gingerbread for example. It's confirmed that Gingerbread was made from the leftover dough of Gingerbread, but the two never consider each other as family. No brother or sisters, not siblings, and not even cousins. If Dozer was made in the same batch as Gingerbread, it's possible that they may not be related at all. At best, they'd be friends. Gingerbread referring to Dozer as my brother at the beginning of his training stage in OvenBreak could simply just be him referring to his own kind. Gingerbread killed Dozer. This seems ridiculous when considering Gingerbread and Dozer are in two completely separate Cookie Run games. However, think about it like this. What was the thing that led to Dozer's demise? A lollipop that he picked up from the ground, which swirled, dazed him, and knocked him out. Now, what is Gingerbread carrying at all times? A flat, swirly lollipop. Yes, all the lollipops do exist in the Cookie Run universe like the one Strawberry Cookie holds, but the similarities are there. Gingerbread could have snuck out of the oven, planted her lollipop for Dozer to pick up, and ended up killing him. Timekeeper Cookie can revive Dozer. It's possible that Timekeeper can go back in time when Dozer just escaped and save him from his potential demise. It's confirmed that Timekeeper could just travel through different points in time without caring about the consequences, so why would the scenario be any different? Yoki Doki was Gingerbread's girlfriend who was murdered. Yoki Doki and Gingerbread appear in the collection image Heartbreak, which has the caption, "Love is a double-sided cookie." This was Yoki Doki's only appearance in OvenBreak, and it has her looking as if she had gotten cracked in half. This really takes the term "till death to us part" to a personal level. Or it could just be a grim parody of the Love Is comic strips. Gingerbread died during OvenBreak 2011. This could be referencing the Heartbreak picture once again. It's possible that how OvenBreak was supposed to end was that Gingerbread found out he had romantic feelings with Yoki Doki, and the two of them would soon meet their demise. This, however, could be disregarded since Gingerbread is still running to this day in every single Cookie Run game. Chestnut Cookie is dead. This is in reference to a costume that Chestnut Cookie owns called Heartwarmer, where Chestnut Cookie, instead of newspapers, are delivering matchsticks to other cookies so they can stay warm for the winter. This is likely based off of the story known as The Little Match Girl, which, in a quick summary, is about a little girl selling matches in the winter. She failed to sell any, but didn't want to go home because of her abusive father. After her final match goes out, she would soon freeze to death. If this is true, then it's possible that Chestnut Cookie in his Heartwarmer costume is likely to suffer the same fate once he runs out of matches. Beet Cookie was an orphan. When Beet Cookie escaped the oven, she stayed cautious and stayed focused on survival. Not even that, but she stays cautious of meeting new cookies. It says in her story that there's only one thing that can spring a surprise on this lonely ranger: unexpected cookie visitors. Why is that? If she's so capable of surviving out in the wild, then why is she so defensive? She does mention things about the forest being a dangerous place with quotes like, "Don't underestimate the forest," and "New threats come every day." It's possible that something happened to her family, and she stays on guard at all times because of something traumatic that happened to her family. Espresso and coffee are siblings. While the two of these cookies might have different attitudes, it's possible that the two might be related. Espresso Cookie has an old loading screen quote that was patched out of Cookie Run Kingdom and replaced. This quote said, "If you get to know Espresso Cookie better, you'll learn that he's very particular about his outfits." This could be similar to how Coffee Cookie is known for shopping for many designer bags, according to her story. Also, much like how it says on Coffee Cookie's story, she refuses to start the day without a cup of coffee. Espresso Cookie loves to not only create himself some coffee, but he makes sure that it's perfect. In Espresso Cookie's story, it even says precise temperature, precise quantity of coffee beans, precise roasting time. Coco Cookie is a cannibal. We all know how much Coco Cookie likes Coco. She has over 40 lines with the word Coco in Cookie Run OvenBreak. She likes sandwiches dipped in cocoa, and she even drinks cocoa during the summer. But this might be darker than you think. People might not know this, but according to her story, it says even if her dough is 80% cocoa, she's always sipping hot cocoa even during the summertime. Nearly all of her cookie self is made out of hot cocoa, and she continues to drink and drink and drink. Not only that, but she seems to really enjoy it too. Blatzo is Muscle Cookie. By looking at his physical build, it's clear to see that Blatzo is a strong, muscular cookie. You can even see Blatzo flexing in the Macho Roast collection image. Isn't it weird how similar Blatzo and Muscle Cookie look? This doesn't just involve muscles either. Blatzo's head was a cookie skull on fire, presumably charred black. Muscle Cookie, on the other hand, wears a black mask that covers his whole face. This could very much be a coincidence, but it's also interesting to note. Banana Peel Cookie is Skater Cookie. Both Banana Peel Cookie and Skater Cookie give some pretty similar resemblances. First, obviously, they both have skateboards. Banana Peel Cookie skateboard is a peeled banana, and Skater Cookie skateboard is a candy cane. The two also wear black t-shirts with white on them in some way. Banana Peel Cookie's shirt has the text banana, and Skater Cookie's shirt has white swirls going from left to right. Lastly, the both of them wear hats of some sort that cover their faces. It's actually really interesting to look at how similar these two cookies are. Coconut Cookie is the goalie. What if Coconut Cookie was with us all along? As mentioned previously, in Ice Candy Cookie's animated trailer, she beats an opposing team's goal by scoring. However, the goalie and Coconut Cookie do look awfully similar. What if they're the same? Perhaps we never met Coconut Cookie because she quit football, transitioned to become male, and changed his eye color? If this is true, then I'm very proud of Coconut Cookie, even if we don't see him in the game anymore. Blackberry Cookie is in an arranged marriage with Adventurer Cookie. The relationship between Adventurer Cookie and Blackberry Cookie is an odd one for sure. However, things get weird when Bake My Day shows that Adventurer Cookie and Blackberry Cookie knew each other when they were children, and Blackberry Cookie is already donning her maid uniform. Perhaps her parents, or Adventurer's parents, have set up Blackberry Cookie and Adventurer Cookie to be a thing? Well, clearly it's not working out so well. The Banana Peel Apparition. This is very secret information. This has not been disclosed to anyone else until this video. Perform this at your own risk. There is a way to unlock Banana Peel Cookie and Cookie Run for Cacao, but you need a specific combination with even more specific execution. You must run with Banana Cookie first, with Skater Cookie as a relay, and have Princess's Locket equipped as a pet. The treasure must be 3 copies of someone's banana peel, and the basic jelly shape must be the banana jelly. You then must play the game on April 17th and run in Escape from the Oven, and then you must be sliding as much as you can. There will then be a 0.0417% chance that the stage background will turn black into a dark room. The game will then slow down and skills and energy drain will simply stop. Before you know it, Banana Peel Cookie will appear, and she will challenge you to a race. She will then challenge you to a race specifically where you have to destroy more obstacles than her by running into them, with the percentage of destruction being determined by chance. If you win the race, then she'll be unlocked, but if you lose, then your account for all Dev Sisters games will be banned for life. Do not try this alone or at home. This is a very serious thing. This is serious business we're talking about. Me, ProblematicPeriPlum, and anyone else involved is not responsible for any damage done by attempting this. Be careful. The witch murdered the Mishers and ate the Mish. Have you ever wondered why we never see the humans from Get That Mish, aka the Mishers? Well, the witch probably killed them all, hence why we never see them again. But how do we even know? Simple. We don't. We also don't see any humans at all in this universe, as the cookies live in their own bubble of the world that is Earthred. As for the actual Mish species that the Mishers caught and raised, if Jo Rose were also in the witch's stomach in OvenBreak 2011, then perhaps she ate even more, hence why we never see any Mish of any kind in any of the Cookie Run games, and only creatures such as lizards remain still. Alice is the witch. Alice from Alice's Adventures, Rabbit Hole of Death, and the witch's normal appearance from the Transformation comic do look similar, so there's a possibility they can be the same. Right? That's actually wrong. In OvenBreak 2, both the witch, or Matilda as she's known here as she's given an actual name, and Alice are both fake Facebook friends in OvenBreak 2, so no, they're 2 completely different people. Move along. The events of Cookie Run are a result of the witch having manic hallucinations. Has anyone ever taken into consideration the thought of the events of Cookie Run happening from the eyes of the witch, creating magical dough that makes cookies come to life so they could be eaten, but some just so happen to run away? In all honesty, she was probably smelling some odd stuff that she was adding to the cauldron, and probably also potentially eating cookies that have an ingredient in their recipe that shouldn't be added to a normal cookie. All the witch could really be is just a baker who's trying different ways of making cookies, but is slowly going insane by every batch she creates. Would you really believe things like the witch watching Skating Queen Cookie dance because of how beautiful it was, Soda Cookie being able to steal one of the witch's popsicles in her freezer and escape with it, and Purple Yam Cookie being created by the witch simply overcooking a cookie? This goes with pets and treasures as well in their own stories. You just have to ask, what reality is the witch in? Because I'm pretty sure the witch doesn't even know which is which.
Oh, hey there, I'm ProblematicPeriPlum. I'm the author of this iceberg and the one that was previously adapted into a video. This iceberg, as of the time of me recording this, was actually written a few months before being recorded and all that, and since then, I discovered stuff that I either accidentally forgot to list as an entry in the remade iceberg image, or that I've discovered brand new information that I have found interesting. So, without further ado, here's layer 11 of the iceberg. This wasn't supposed to happen, but things happen. Oh well, let's go. Rank interface header world icon.png. This is an image that when the player in the first few versions in OvenBreak 2009 viewed the leaderboard, they saw this image. It's an image of a man inside some clip art of the Earth. While this is to simply show that people across the world play the game, it's something a bit odd to include. Who is this man? Why is his face inside the Earth? Who is the identity of this person in the original photograph? Is there even an original photograph? This was eventually removed after the OvenBreak Affinity updates, and we no longer have to look at Rank Interface's face ever again. For shame. Cookie 0000 in Cookie Run Kingdom. As mentioned previously, Cookie 000 is an unused character in Cookie Run OvenBreak that likely served as a placeholder image for cutscene characters. After its discovery and spread, many people have found the cookie to be uncanny and creepy. However, that did not stop Dev Sisters from putting a character that was not even intended to be seen in the first place into Cookie Run Kingdom. In Cookie Run Kingdom, Cookie 0000 is not a burnt cookie or a shadowy one, but is a simple silhouette of a cookie. It's especially interesting because, although it's probably a development leftover, the average user is unlikely to find it as the Kingdom files are infamously encrypted to high levels. Sem Han interview. This is a bit of a personal thing, but on March 6th and March 7th of 2022, I was able to interview Sem Han, an artist for OvenBreak 2009 and also the designer of cookies such as Dozer, Yoki Doki, and Evil Gingerbreads. While some time has passed since he last worked for Dev Sisters and he did not know everything that I asked about, some questions that I have asked about have been answered. Quite possibly the most important question that was answered was the context of the comic of the witch's transformation, where she turns from old to young, or young to old, whatever. In the emails I have sent, it is stated that Gingerbread broke the witch's, quote, magic crystal, end quote, that, quote, kept her younginess, end quote. If the witch is apparently more than 30 centimeters away from it, she will become her normal, red-skinned, elderly appearance. Or it's just she managed to contain her young appearance to a crystal. It's not exactly clear, unfortunately. Sem Han also stated that he would like to see Dozer appear again in future Cookie Run games, since his nearly decade-long absence from any Cookie Run game has been quite egregious. I have linked the interview in the description, or HyperHimes should've, because this is simply a collaboration on my part. Okay, so interesting development. I recorded all of the audio in this video back in March 2022, and now it is late April 2022. Now, something interesting has happened, and that is that DevNow 2022 happened in mid-April. For those unaware in the future or are otherwise unfamiliar, DevNow 2022 is seemingly going to be an annual thing where Dev Sisters releases information regarding their video games, and one of these video games was Cookie Run: The Witch's Castle, where Dozer appears for the first time in nearly 10 years. Of course, discounting the 10th anniversary post that was on Twitter back in 2019. Additionally, in the Cookie Run OvenBreak section, we got to see a lot of concept art for cookies, used, NPCs, and unused, that was never seen before. Some of the cookies that were completely unused include Cereal Cookie, Guava Cookie, Durian Cookie, and Sugar Cube Cookie, which was split into Moonlight Cookie's Primordial Light and Sugar Glass Cookie. I would have mentioned all of these cookies if the Iceberg was made later and not at the end of, 2021, but alas, I wanted to mention them now so they aren't brought up in the comment section. I hope these cookies are given a second chance, especially Cereal Cookie. I love them. However, considering that Dev Sisters has revealed that Coconut Cookie was a scrap design and later said in meetups that unused designs aren't exactly off the table, I don't have much faith. I also don't encourage going after Sem Han to say this, because I assume that he has already been told about this before, and I really don't want people harassing him, so yeah. Anyways, improv from the future over, back to the regular video. Magma Cookie. Magma Cookie was the original version of Fire Spirit Cookie and had first appeared in data downloads for Cookie Run for Cacao in 2014 in around June or July, and only in the 4.0 range of the game. Magma Cookie had a seemingly complete sprite sheet as well as some placeholder sprite sheets for some effects and jellies as well, meaning that they were pretty much good from the get-go. Design-wise, Magma Cookie was a large, bulky red golem made of magma with peaks on its back resembling volcanoes. There is no code for the skill, however, the sprite sheet seems to demonstrate a skill where the cookie runs, goes up into the air, and goes onto the ground, creating jellies, which is somewhat similar to Lobster Cookie, as they would later appear in Cookie Run OvenBreak. Of course, this is all speculation, because there is no copy of the sprite sheet nor valid code of the game to actually test this theory out. In 2017, a user most prominently in the jailbreak community for iOS, known as XSF1RE, or XSFire, had uploaded a series of blogs on a Cookie Run group on Naver about their various exploits and cheats that they have made for Cookie Run for Cacao, including a way of re-implementing Magma Cookie. In this video, Magma Cookie is clearly placed over Pistachio Cookie so the sprite sheets can be placed. A few other screenshots of Magma Cookie in a couple of other areas were uploaded, but this is by far the most prominent, as this is to date the only footage of Magma Cookie available online, as well as the highest quality look at its sprite sheet. Magma Cookie would be short-lived, as when the game was updated to New World, many players noticed when they looked into the files that a new cookie had replaced this Magma Cookie, being Fire Spirit Cookie, who is still around today. Magma Cookie surprisingly does have some code in the game. If you open the APK of Cookie Run for Cacao 4.8.6 and you edit libgame.so with a hex editor and you change every instance of 100101 to 104108, then you would get Magma Cookie into the game. However, it's not really anything substantial. This quote-unquote Magma Cookie is simply Muscle Cookie using a low resolution for some reason, saying only 2 words in Korean that translate roughly as cold and magma. The high-quality sprite sheets of Magma Cookie are currently lost media. While XSF1RE was in possession of the original Magma Cookie sprite sheets, he never shared them online. XSF1RE also essentially left the internet due to an alleged lawsuit threat relating to the jailbreaking of iPhones. Since then, XSF1RE had deleted a majority of his social media accounts and videos online of his presence. His Twitter says sternly, and it is locked, "I don't do Twitter anymore." Most documentation of Magma Cookie online comes from the Korean side of the fandom, as Magma Cookie's assets were only published to that version of the game. So it's likely that Magma Cookie's sprite sheets are possibly in circulation within the Korean fandom. Regardless, it would be a miracle if Magma Cookie's original assets could be found again, as what we have today are just low-quality screenshots. Early Fox Speed. In the 2.08 APK of Cookie Run for Cacao, an early design for Fox Speed can be found if one takes a look at shop_item_pet.png. Here, this early design for Fox Speed has a more pronounced shine and outline for the actual bead parts, and the eyes have a completely different shape, as well as having slit pupils. Additionally, Fox Speed's jelly, which was turning the cookie into a giant form and also blasting, simply had the pet's face into a magic bubble. Early Windy. In the same APK of Cookie Run for Cacao where the early Fox Speed is found, an early design for Windy, aka Rebel Cookie's pet, is also present. It looks nearly identical to the file design, but Windy has a more pale color scheme. That's it. Rebel Cookie Early Translation. Despite Rebel Cookie infamously releasing 3 years after his initial debut in Cookie Run for Cacao to Line Cookie Run, translation for work for Cookie Run for Cacao had been worked and was completed and present in the very first version of Line Cookie Run 1.0.0 and was just left there for some reason. Most of the text seen for Rebel Cookie is surprisingly identical for the final version, except one quote is changed. The quote in the released version of the game, quote, "Sure, you can call me Robin Hood," end quote, was instead, quote, "I am Robin Hood," end quote. It's really odd that Rebel Cookie was withheld from release in the first place, but it's so odd knowing that the fandom at one point called Rebel Cookie Monk Cookie, despite the fact that Rebel Cookie had an official name since 2014. Although, of course, we wouldn't be able to see it, and the way of decrypting the DXJ files was not widely known in the English documented fanbase. Breath of Wind. This was Windy's original name in Line Cookie Run. This one's pretty weird as while the actual pet name and reference to the pet name in Rebel Cookie's description are Breath of Wind, for some reason, the combo bonus, not combi bonus as it would be later called, combo bonus called Breath of Wind Windy, which was the final name. Line Cookie Run unfortunately has a lot of these issues where names for pets and treasures are inconsistent across multiple lines of text. For example, earlier versions of the game sometimes call Brave Cookie by Gingerbread before the name Gingerbread was adopted again in 2016. The translation in general was just a mess, and while the other languages like the Chinese, Japanese, and Thai ones were fairly high quality, the English ones skimmed out on a lot of areas, and it seems that there was a lot of miscommunication about what is called what. Quote, "The banana taste is fantastic," end quote. For some bizarre reason, this is the only string of text that relates to the original banana peel cookie that was a skater and had a banana peel for hair in Line Cookie Run that was translated that isn't the name of something. Banana Cookie's treasure, despite being an unused, unimplemented treasure, had an odd amount of translation for it done for some reason. They didn't even bother to translate the warning message that was supposed to be used as Banana Peel Cookie's description. How odd. Santa Cookie. For some reason, Ginger Claus Treasure in Line Cookie Run, Santa Cookie's gift bag, calls Ginger Claus by Santa Cookie even early on when Ginger Claus wasn't even added into the game and it was only a placeholder text file. In the original Korean version of the game, Ginger Claus is named Santa Mouse Cookie, which I'm hoping I'm saying correctly, which translates as Santa Cookie. So yes, this would be an accurate translation. However, the translation team at Line Corp decided to instead use the original name for the cookie from OvenBreak 2, and so, to this day, we are forever cursed with Ginger Claus. Adventurer Cookie's Bald Spot. This isn't really anything big, I just find it kind of funny. Anyways, a sketch and graphic for Adventurer Cookie and Cookie Run OvenBreak for the spooky Spider Mansion, a story where he has a surprised look with a somewhat amusing early iteration, where Adventurer Cookie has his hat missing, which reveals a bald spot on his head. I doubt that Adventurer Cookie does have a bald spot in terms of canon Cookie Run content, but this is an amusing fact nonetheless. Original Casual Shining Glitter Cookie. The concept art for Shining Glitter Cookie shows an alternate design for Shining Glitter's casual attire, which was also present in the pre-release files for the Shining Glitter update. There's not really much else to say here, I just think it's neat. Moby Dick and the Godfather are canon in Cookie Run. You know how earlier we established that Get That Mish and Cookie Run are likely within the same universe? In an animated trailer for Get That Mish, a CRT television falls off a truck and for some reason still functions with the Mish being able to watch it as it falls deeper into the ocean. Two of these channels that are displayed is what appears to be Moby Dick and The Godfather. The implications of this being, of course, that those two movies exist in the Mish universe. However, with the countless evidence that we've provided between the two universes being linked, this means that by extension, The Godfather and Moby Dick are both canon within the Cookie Run universe as well. Who knows? Gingerbread Mish. This is it, folks. The Holy Grail, the Magnum Opus. Missing link that proves that the Cookie Run and Get That Mish universes are one and the same. One piece of evidence to link it all together. Except we don't have it because Dev Sisters eradicated any piece of their history not relating to Cookie Run 2013 because Kakao Talk only wanted them to do Cookie Run stuff anymore and nobody bothered to archive it, so that misplacement never existed because that's how it always works. Always. Kill me. Anyways, rant about how much of free Kakao Dev Sisters content has been intentionally lost aside, this is a tweet from the @DevSisters Twitter account that says, "Wouldn't you want to be awesome to have a Gingerbread Mish with two links, a bit.ly links to Get That Mish app that no longer exists, and a Facebook link to a YouTube video that is privated." Although, given the time frame, which was on September 17th, 2012, and the video of the animated Get That Mish trailer being uploaded on the day before, it's likely that it was just the Get That Mish trailer. Regardless, there might have been something hidden, so way to go, Dev Sisters! You've eradicated the only piece of evidence that links to Cookie Run and Get That Mish universes together, once and for all. Way to go! Bravo! OvenBreak 3. Let's cap this off with what I believe to be the most interesting piece of trivia that I have found recently. On June 19th, 2012, Andy Tebay of VentureSquare.net published an interview with Jihon Lee of Dev Sisters. This interview outlined the future of the company as well as gave interesting input that the reason why Skittles was chosen as a brand to collaborate with was because it was simply fitting with the OvenBreak brand. At the end of the interview, a paragraph outlining the future of the company reads, Dev Sisters plans to build on its success with several apps being developed for the release later this year. OvenBreak 2 and OvenBreak 3 are in the works alongside a medieval social game called Oh My Lord, where users can become kings and control castles. Lee says the company's OvenBreak series will be released on Android in the future, followed by its other games after this. This is to date the only official mention of OvenBreak 3 from Dev Sisters, before OvenBreak 2 had even released, which would only release in December, which is 6 months later after this. It is unknown how far OvenBreak 3 had gotten into development, but it is likely that development for it had to be stopped when Kakao Talk when it made a deal with Dev Sisters to create a port of OvenBreak 2 for Android, which eventually gave birth to Cookie Run for Kakao. OvenBreak 3 is therefore the only Cookie Run game to have been planned at one point and then later cancelled. Phew. I do not talk for that long in real life, so my throat is pretty sore now. Anyways, I'm hoping that the information that I was able to provide in this Iceberg, as well as this little segment I've made, to be incredibly useful. I'm hoping to educate you all on the little tidbits of Cookie Run, and I'm also not expecting to have talked this much about an obscure Dev Sisters game about catching fish to be related to the Cookie Run universe. But that's what makes it fun, right? Anyways, take it away, HyperHimes.
It's over. It's finally over. After days of scripting, days of recording audio, days of editing, and weeks of really trying to pull myself to get this done, it's finally finished. I'm gonna sound super soppy and weepy from what I'm about to say, but from the very bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for watching this video. Before I even continue, I need to give my insane regards to ProblematicPeriPlum for helping me with this video. That's right, not only did she help write this entire script with things that I was clueless on, but she even added a whole new layer 11 and had that part of the video fully edited. I cannot thank her enough, and I want you all to show her all the love in the world as well. This video would not exist without her help. This was probably one of the biggest videos I've ever made on the channel, and all I can say is, I can't wait for what we'll do in the future. Of course, I know the original Cookie Run Iceberg has its imperfections, but I'm hoping that this video can make up for it. Again, thank you all so much for the support on the channel. I have some things coming up in the future, and I really hope that you'll be along for the ride with it. You don't know how much I really just want to keep saying thank you all, but I don't want to sound like a broken record, because honestly, it's just gonna go on for hours if I keep it up at this rate. But again, thank you all so much. So, with all this being said, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to leave a like and share it with your friends if they enjoy Cookie Run content or Iceberg related content. Also, if you have an interesting fact about Cookie Run that hasn't been stated on this Iceberg, then why not leave it on a comment? If you enjoy my content in general, then why not subscribe to my YouTube channel? And also, hit the bell icon to receive all notifications on this YouTube channel in the near future. And lastly, I actually do have merchandise available if you want to check it out. I am not going to force you to buy anything, but there might be something interesting in the shop that you might be interested in. And above all else, thank you all so much once again, and I will see you entities and guardians in the next video. Hail the hype knees.